suppose that you're able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to live out your greatest goals, your wildest victories. You could have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. But now, let's have a surprise. Let's make a change. Let's have a dream which isn't under control.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to the UCI Mountain Bike World Series Festival Haute Savoie. We're here in Léger for what promises to be one of the big days of international downhill mountain bike racing of the year. My name's Rick McLaughlin. Joining me in the booth is none other than Cedric Gracia. Cedric, Léger, France, downhill, this has got it all, hasn't it?
It's got it all. Hello everyone. Léger, being the mecca of mountain biking in France, and it is the place you don't want to miss. You know, you want to see the bike park, you want to see the riders, you want to go ride in Léger. Léger always deliver.
One of the craziest crowds of the year flocking their way into Léger as we speak. Let's have a look at what the weekend schedule looks like. So the downhill semi-finals for the elite women will get us underway, and then the elite men shortly afterwards. Then it's the finals for the women from 1 o'clock, then the elite men at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow, all about endurance, all about cross-country Olympic women on 23 get us underway at 9 a.m. And then at 1 o'clock, the big guns come out and the elites will be on track. But as I say today, all about gravity, all about downhill. And there is a woman with the weight of a nation on her shoulders, Marine Cabirou, France's big hope today. We're going to see a little more of her very shortly. But as you can see, conditions here, super warm, super hot, as it has been all week. So we've had a really consistent track to play with. It's been hot, but importantly, it's been consistent. Here are the women we are going to be talking about today then. She leads the way in the overall at the minute. She's a UCI World Champion, a trio of UCI World Cup names to her name so far this season. Valentina Hull is here and ready to go, fastest qualifier yesterday. Nina Hoffman didn't have quite as good a time in qualifying yesterday with that crash, the DSQ, but protected. The Santa Cruz Syndicate rider will be good to go for later on this afternoon. One in Andorra. Might fancy doing it again today. Marine Cabirou then, as I said then, France, a proud downhilling nation. She is their #1 contender today. Cabirou, second fastest in quali yesterday. She could go one stop better today if the stars align. Tani Seagrave, really interestingly, used to call Morzine home. Knows this place like the back of her hand, goes extremely well here, has done in the past, has been looking back to her best over the last few races, or certainly approaching her best. Fourth with a crash in qualifying. Here are the standings in the overall as we speak. Valentina Hull, 494 points ahead of Nina Hoffman. Camille Balanche still missing in action with that injury, 672 points back. Then it's Cabirou, then Hrasnik. Afternoon not here this weekend either. Then it's Hemstreet, Seagrave and Gale. Seagrave and Gale still locked together really. Millie Jonset, what a season she's having, 12th. Currently in the overall. Then Farina, well, she missed the first half of it, but she's come back extremely strongly. Farina 5th in that qualifying session yesterday. So 10 minutes or so to go before we get underway here in Léger. Cedric, what is it that makes the crowd so just, I don't know, formidable here? Like, they really are a force to be reckoned with the whole length of the track, aren't they?
I mean, that track is just so hard to attack.
L'amour avec un grand A, celui qu'on se sert.
I have 3 injuries the last 2 years, and it was really difficult to come back, and especially because the level is really high. I broke 3 of my vertebrae in Leogang last year. I spent 1 month on a corset, and I can't move, can't do nothing, so it was a really long way because I lost all my muscles, so it was a big job after to recover everything.
Tous les projets d'avenir, romance petit déj au réveil dans le lit.
At the beginning of the season it was really hard for me because I was riding but not really feeling myself on my bike. That takes a lot of time to be back and find your good level again. When we start the season, I wasn't ready for a race and actually to win, so we decided to build step by step all along of the season and race by race. I'm really happy the way we do, and every race I'm a bit faster and I'm closer to the top spot.
C'est là qu'il commence pour de vrai le test. À cette étape, j'ai quoi à nous deux. On se focalise sur le grand A. On se fait des kiffs, on adore ça.
The results are so tight on every races. It's a different winner on every races, so it's just crazy, and I'm happy to see the sport improving like that.
Marion Cabirou then, carrying the weight of a nation on her shoulder. Cabirou on the hunt for a comeback win.
Looking good there. She's cracking hard. 1.7.
So Marine's found a second in the woods. The bike tried to slide out from underneath her. She grabbed it back, crosses the line. Marine Cabirou goes fastest by 3.1 seconds.
Yes, maybe this weekend can be a good weekend for me. I really like the track, but for the moment I feel good on the track, I feel good on my bike, and we will see. I'm on the good way, I think, and maybe it could be my weekend, we will see.
Yeah, you just get the feeling, Cedric, she's building towards a big result.
Confidence, you know, when you have this, you're almost unbeatable. She did that.
You definitely get that impression from her. She's not in a rush. She knows it's coming, but
Step by
if
step.
it arrives today, wow, get ready. Well, as Marine Cabirou just visualises her way down the track in Léger. Let's take a look at it for ourselves. It's amazing how intense the visualization
yes,
is. Isn't
she's
it?
in there.
She's in the zone.
I think she did that before we did a pre-run 8:30 in the morning together. I was not prepared.
I'm still blown away by the fact that you were up at 8:30 in the morning, never mind ready to ride. But as I say, let's have a look at the course here in Léger. So Cedric, flat out one of the fastest start sections in the business.
Flat out with some jumps and big rut gap entering the wood section. Quite technical before the lake, and after the lake is where business starts. It's like a lot of line choice, and it's really bumpy and difficult. And you get out that wood section at the end where Reese Wilson did an insane jump.
Yeah, the Flying Scotsman.
Exactly, and for another flat out finish line across all those fields.
Well, he's told you about it. Now it's time to see what it looked like from his own point of view. We're going to go very shortly to Cedric Gracia with the DH GoPro course preview. Valley Hole. Just taking a second to close the eyes and visualize this track.
Different routine, huh?
Yeah, very
Marine
different.
more aggressive.
Well, here is Cedric's GoPro course preview. Strap yourselves in.
Hello everyone, this is Cedric Gracia. We're in Léger for the UCI Mountain Bike World Series. Let me tell you, the track, it's fast, it's rough, it's dusty, full of roots. Let's check it out. There we go, a couple of corners there. Bumpy already. I can feel the water already. Inside line, another step down. Ooh, hot braking here. It's bumpy. Big drop. Yeah, still bumpy, dark in the woods. Hard to know where you're really going. Dusty, big hole in the puff. Big factor, the dust really. Big berm, really hard braking. Root section, whew, steep. The light is not the best in the woods. I think soon we have the lake. Outside, drop, another drop, upper line. Oh, it's greasy there, kind of greasy. Okay, this is where it's tricky. Down to the bottom. Woo! Don't know where I'm really going there. As you can see, Marine is pulling up. Upper line here. Some berms. Jumps. Woo! Into a bigger steep section. Right there. That's really steep. I don't know if you guys see, but it's so steep. Big jump. Oh, heavy landing. The two last corner, last berm, and you will hear the crowd going crazy. There we go. That was a preview run in Léger.
Cedric, I thought you did very, very well there, but she was getting away towards the end.
Yeah, steeper it goes, and Marine was like going faster and faster, confident. I kind of tried to follow Will, but hey, so early in the morning, it was not so easy. First run, I was like, wow.
Well, absolutely spellbinding through that steep section. Marine Cabirou. Be interesting to see what she can do today. And here is your start list. Emmy Land from Canada will get us underway. Then it's Vidman, Ferguson, Ahern, Newkirk, Jonset, Hoffman, Hemstreet, Scarzy and Baumann. Then we're into the business end of things. Gail, Farina, Tani Seagrave, Monica Hrastnik, Marine Cabirou and Valentina Hull will be the last to drop here in Léger. Getting ready to go racing at one of the absolute temples of speed of European mountain biking, and it's a beautiful blue sky day for the 6th round of the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup. Welcome then to a baking hot Haute Savoie Léger round of the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup here in France. And yep, as we predicted last week, plenty of chainsaws on course. The crowd are here. Cedric Gracia and I are here. Cedric, this is one of downhill's big days, isn't it?
Big days. Hello everyone, it's Léger. It's la Mecca of the mountain biking in France. Look at the crowd. And you know, I was scared you had no gasoline left already.
He carried it all the way up there without any fuel, but they've got the chainsaw going. That is an essential part of downhill mountain biking fandom, of course. So we are just approaching getting things underway here at the semi-final for the elite women. First out of the traps today, Emmy Land from Canada, riding for Forbidden Synthesis, will get us underway. More used to seeing her, of course, on her enduro bike, but she's made some good cameos on the downhill machine already this season, and we'll be looking to do the same here today on one of the fastest tracks of the year, really, isn't it, top to bottom?
So fast, and a lot of spot you can do desk grip, really. It's like having all your fingers around the grip, not touching your brake levers.
We saw it during the juniors yesterday, didn't we? It was...
It's mentally, it's hard. You
It's
want
a
to go,
bold
you're
move.
tired. And the crowd is going to make you so pumped. This is what it's all about downhill. You know, the excitement, loud in the woods. You don't even listen to the bike.
Emmy Lan leaves the start hut then and gets us underway here at the UCI Mountain Bike World Series Festival Haute Savoie on one of the most famous tracks in the business. Léger, Cedric, tell us about this track as we're watching it.
Yeah, this track, this big off camber, you see she tried to pull. I think it's maybe better to save a little bit of energy, but you're already like 50 or 60 km an hour there. Really, those two jumper, you know, like you're still cornering, and that corner for me is critical. You see she's keeping the inside because it's all broken and outside. Here it's two berm, two rods, and a big rod gap. That's big, and you enter into a big shadow. The transition of the line, it's so hard. You have to deal with it right away.
You can see they're really, really dark in the trees. Emmy Lan,
Three lines there, sorry.
Yeah, there are maybe not as many as we saw in Lunenvale last time out, but there are some key line choices the whole way down here.
Exactly, line choice was really important in practice. This is the only place I think you're going to be able to recover just a little bit where it's, for me, the start of the race, because this is going to be so many places you can make mistakes.
It may well have been the start of, if I was out there, I would have crashed long before that, but it is super steep through these woods.
Yeah, and so many, you need to get the rhythm. You see, like you're going from one terrace to another terrace. You have to corner when it's not really a berm or something. The hard time for those riders is to try to find the grips. And you talk to the best rider in the world, they say, like, I cannot find the grip. I'm waiting for something, you know, to find the grip and change direction, but I'm not finding it. You know, it's powder.
Emmy Lan then down in the trees. You can see here a Léger trademark, big holes in the corners.
Nice upper line there, really technical, really hard to get, and some people are going to jump that. I saw it in practice. I couldn't believe they even think about doing it.
It's a big reach, isn't it?
She's doing good, like she's aggressive. You have to be aggressive on that track. Like most of the track difficult like this, you need to power through. It's full on. Under speed, it's dangerous. Over speed, it's more dangerous. Then you have to keep the perfect speed. Here, keeping the inside, I think, is definitely key. And those two corners, really important, especially that one. We don't see between behind the tree and the mat, but you need to keep the inside over those roots. Recompose yourself here, because it's an inside line between two trees. We can see it right there, and it's full of roots. Look at the bike, that's working over those roots.
Yeah, she's done a lot of winning in under 21 in the UCI Mountain Bike Enduro World Cup this season, Lan. Good to see one of the staged racing specialists mixing it up with a big bike.
And look how steep it is there. You're using your brakes, but nothing is happening really. It's hard to stop your bike, and you need to make quick decision. Not easy.
Then the famous jump made famous by Reece Wilson's, frankly, huge crash so big it's probably still going on somewhere. Off he had there in the wet a couple of years ago. Lands safely down at low across the off camber, onto that big compression, onto the road. She makes her way down towards the final jumps on the Léger course. Down towards the final right-hander. And Lan for Canada then is going to cross the line and give us our benchmark time of a 4:14.7. So Valentina Hole's fastest quality time yesterday was a 3:48.6. Gives you an idea of what we're swinging at here today, as Veronica Widman, the Italian national champion riding for Continental Nuke-Proof Factory Racing, leaves the start hut. And I'm pleased to say that we are joined in the commentary booth as she's five seconds up in the fourth split. Miriam Nicole, not a bad time to join us. How are you?
Yeah, I rushed and I'm there. Excited.
Miriam, you must be disappointed to be missing this one.
Oh
in
my
Liège.
god, yeah, this one looks so good, but I have to say it seems pretty tough. I just watched Cedric GoPro and it was like kind of gnarly, so hat off to all the girls riding this gnarly track.
Vidman, sorry to interrupt you, Vidman goes fastest by 6.5 seconds yet, as her teammate Louise Ferguson leaves the start hop.
Miriam, so good. So good. To say that the track looks difficult, because it felt so difficult for me. She's 5 down on split number 4.
5.3 seconds at the 4th split. Yeah, I thought Cedric did very well in that course preview. I don't know about you, Miriam.
Yeah, he did really well, but Marin was going quite fast.
Yeah, thanks.
Practice did help, but you can see like the girls are managing really well, but they all know there is a final after that, though. Will they give it 100% now or save some energy, because this track is quite gnarly?
Yeah, we're going for 10 riders plus any of the protected riders outside of that here in the semi-final session. So Ferguson looking to make a claim for that, does so, goes into the hot seat 5.8 seconds quicker than her teammate Ferguson. As Sharon Ahern for the YT mob, fast earlier in the week. Ahern leaves the start hop.
This part is so hard, so technical, so like it's really hard to find the line, you know. It's so much dust. And she's 2.5 on slip number 3.
Cedric, you mentioned earlier on that you think that a lot of the riders from the west coast of America, Australia, they're used to these kind of conditions. Can they be a factor today?
It will be a factor for sure. Australia and California boys are going to be quick on that dirt, because that's a dirt they have at home. Big Bears like that, and in Australia obviously it does like this, but as well Canada, because Kamloops is like that. All the people who know how to find or surf that kind of dirt are going to be good today.
Miriam, it's a funny sport, isn't it? Whenever it's really, really wet, there's not much grip about, and when it gets really, really dry, there's not much grip about.
Yeah, that's what we love, perfect condition, but it never happens.
Well, only maybe on day number 1 or 2 max.
Second place for Ahern. Anna Newkirk then for Beyond Racing leaves the start hop from the USA for Beyond Racing. On that custom-made Contra steel downhill bike. 1.7 seconds into the good for Newkirk.
That's good. She's fast there. I guess she's doing death grip.
She's hitting these berms pretty hard.
Yes, and we saw
the difference.
Miriam, we saw yesterday the last part, like some people could lose a lot of time, and it don't look like it is much there, you know, like you can gain time or lose time, and we saw a big difference yesterday. I guess it's like not on the grip and committed make a difference. 43.6 kilometers on the speed
43
track.
kilometers
And
an hour
this
for the
last
speed
berm
track.
is pretty tricky. I saw the men struggling with it this morning, so it's going to be a key point as well.
What makes it, she's 1.5 seconds quicker, Newkirk, into the hot seat. What makes it tricky, Miriam? It looks like it's sort of slightly too shallow, is it? Is it breaking up a bit?
And then it got to be destroyed, it's dusty, and people are tired also. The last berm of the track, you're sometimes not that cautious, so...
Millie Onset, she's had
Nice line there.
a good couple of first splits, and she's
what's-
into the green, but she's back at the 4th one, 0.4 of a second back for Jonset now, the Norwegian. Had a really, really good time in Ludenviel.
Yeah, she needs to keep the speed here. It's so, like we saw with Miriam, we talked with Miriam, it's so easy to lose time there.
You have
And
to let the brake go.
Yeah, and you know, those big cranks there, those big, when you pedal hard between the jumps here, is it going to make a big difference, or it's better to actually tag and try to don't get the wind, recover a little bit, but you know, just for the last corner, maybe it's better to just
Yeah, I
pedal.
tried not pedaling last year and it didn't work, so I would say, go girls, go pedal hard.
Jonset just 0.6 of a second outside that time of Anna Newkirk, so that's looking good for her. Miriam, on a track as rough as this, there's holes the whole way down it. Nina Hoffman leaves the start hop for the Santa Cruz Syndicate. I mean, do you have to limit how much practice that you do to try and limit the effects on the body, or?
Yeah, it's really like tiring, and the bike also has to work really good. So Nina is ahead, and she's been working a lot all the winter with her bike, and she's fit. So good position now.
1.3 seconds at split 4 for Hoffman. So she had that crash during qualifying yesterday, 56 kilometers an hour their live speed. Hoffman with a bit of a point to prove that there is a bit of a lurg floating around here in Liège. A bit of illness is knocking about, and it has affected the Santa Cruz Syndicate. So Nina Hoffman back to hopefully full health. Stops pedaling, sits up there, crosses the line, comfortably into the lead by 2.1 seconds from Anna Newkirk. So that should look good for Hoffman.
Yeah, no, that's good for her, you know, after a crash like this to get confident again.
Gracie Hemstreet for Canada, and for Norco on that prototype machine leaves the start hut.
She's in the red, 2.9 on split number 3. Oh, she was.
She hit that burn pretty good.
Yeah, she was going for it.
5 times a UCI World Cup winner in the junior category. Really starting to make her presence felt. She's already,
what a style!
She's already one of the big names, Miriam, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, and she had a bad crash and she's still recovering from it, but you can tell she's feeling more and more confident. And yeah, she got a big side.
Oh, the style is amazing. I wish I had one like that.
1.6 back at split 4.
But you see the turbulence on the bike before the corners, and Miriam was saying that corner is really tricky.
3.5 seconds back for Hemstreet though, so yeah, we will be taking 10 through, plus any of the protected riders who are outside of that. Gloria Scarzi, now a really big talent from the enduro world, stepping on the downhill bike.
Struggle on those first corner. You see it's so bumpy. Maybe the inside would be better soon because it's so destroyed already.
Scarzi, good qualifying session yesterday in 8th. 7/10 back at split 4, so she's not out of it yet.
No, we lost quite a bit of time after split number 3, where all the technical part is.
So the UCI Mountain Bike Enduro World Cup finals are next weekend, just down the road in Châtel. Scarzi up and amongst it in the overall there, and up and amongst it in terms of the times here in the elite women's semi-final in Ligier. Gloria Scarzi from Italy down to the line with a 4-minute time, just 2 seconds off the hot seat time of Nina Hoffman.
Miriam, how you will attack the track there? Like flat out from the start, or try to build your confidence?
I mean, like when there is big holes and those routes like this, if you are passive, like it's so much worse. So you have to attack. That's the advice I gave to Lisa before. Like,
and it's working.
Go for it. Go for it.
Well, if you wanted to promote your own advice, Miriam, 2.3 seconds to split 4 faster than Lisa Baumann.
She was really pissed off after yesterday quali. She said, like, I can do better, and she's pushing. So I'm happy to see her.
And the background is from cross country, right? It's only 2 years she's on the downhill bike, really.
That's crazy. She's young and she's been only riding cross country and enduro, and you can say she's fit and she's pedaling hard here.
That 4th split looking really strong. So whatever she did on the exit of Lewis Woods there has worked as Baumann comes down the line. Is she going to go sub 4 minutes? Lisa Baumann stops the clock, 3:57.7. 9/10 of a second faster than Nina Hoffman. 5 to go, and we will see more of the runs from here on out. Phoebe Gale for the Canyon Collective FMD gets underway. Just quickly on Lisa Baumann though, Miriam, how impressed are you?
I'm really impressed, like coming into the mountain bike scene just like that in downhill, and she's just killing it. She hasn't done much, but she worked really hard this winter. She did a lot of training camp and riding with Valley as well, managed by Cecile.
Gail losing more and more time from split number 1 all the way down, losing more and more time. Split number 4, she was 5 seconds behind. Really hard, and you see, she's great. She's pedaling so hard, but you see, it's so hard to tell, you know, like that track is so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, like we only see the last section, but those girls are coming through some gnarly routes, big holes, and they have been like through a lot before this last section. So
Phoebe Gale down the line, 5.6 outside that time of Lisa Baumann. So Gale, not one of her better performances, but she's still hopeful. Eleonora Farina for MS Mondraker leaves the start hut then, the reigning European champion, 5th in qualifying yesterday.
Oh, pedaling hard here.
yeah, and to manage to keep the speed at the start is a tough one, because it's hard to pedal.
It's better to pump, maybe, Miriam?
I think you still have to do a bit both.
Yeah, okay.
So now she's been through the first gnarly section and she's coming into the second wood.
This is when I find it really hard.
A second faster at split 2 for the 32-year-old Italian.
Made a good first wood section. I hope she keep going that way, because when you attack sometime a little bit too hard, you're paying the price maybe later. But hey, you have to attack today.
I think Elliot only knows one speed, doesn't she? And that's attack top to bottom, and then she'll deal with the consequences once she gets there.
So that's a place where they can rest kind of before hitting this off camber again.
What do you mean, breathing?
Yeah,
Your idea of resting and mine are very
Yes.
different, Miriam. But headed towards the halfway point then on the third split.
Really hard to get the upper line there. Really, really hard. Big off camber. We don't see too much on the camera, but there's big turbulence, big impact here, big compression. You need to reset quick. You don't want to stop the bike.
Farina, she's a tough competitor, isn't she, Miriam?
Yeah. I mean, like, she's been on a circuit for a lot of time, so she's got a big experience, and that will help.
So she's 1.8 seconds faster at the end of the third split. It's going well here for the Italian.
Yeah, she's increasing her time. That's good. Physically, she can take it. She look good on the bike. She don't look like she's suffering, and sometimes you see the face going down a little bit. She's still looking up.
Yeah,
it's good.
it reminds me a bit Val di Sole, and Eleonora has always done good there, so I think she's going to do pretty good
nice
in this
inside,
last
sorry.
deep section.
It's certainly looking as rough as Val di Sole has.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is kind of the same right now.
See, the inside line was nice.
Really
Because
good.
Over the stump is definitely the line, because you go so fast in that corner, you can exit and jump.
Yeah, Farina having a good crack here. Out into the open now. She'll do this gap jump.
1.8 on split number 4.
Hang on over the off camber. Bike trying to get away from her across the road where the bike compresses all the way through its suspension. And now back on the pedals for these last few jumps, which they have modified for this year, made them work just a little bit better.
You see the back wheel on the off camber, just looking for grips.
Heads down now into this right-hander. Miriam says extremely tricky. Manages to absolutely nail it. Farina down the line then, 2 seconds faster than Lisa Baumann.
Amazing bottom. Amazing bottom. Make
Yeah.
some time at the bottom, really.
So Sharna Hearn into the drop zone now as our current 10th place semi-final rider. Tani Seagrave for Canyon Collective FMD leaves the start hop.
Back in the game, huh?
Yeah, back in the game I saw her, and she did struggle a bit to set her suspension, her bike working really good, and this is tricky with this track, but she was like hungry for some more, and she needed that semi-final to get ready for the final, so that was really important for her to do a good run.
I love the way she went so close to the pole there, placing the bike where she wanted to avoid an extra corner. I just like as well the attitude, the way she commit for a corner like that, using, the end of the little berm if it is, to change direction.
Playing with the limits.
Limits, playing with the limits, yes. But
Yeah.
where are the limits today when
I know,
it's so
this is
dusty?
a tricky thing of today.
What a competitor as well, Seagrave. She was 4th in qualifying, 10.4 seconds off that fastest time with a crash in her run, so she's definitely got more to give today.
She's in the red, 1.9 on split number 2. Now she needs to show the real talent of Tani, and she have a lot of talent. Like, she almost grew up there, like she's been riding this mountain all the time, but then it's most of the time more moist and slippery, and today it's so
we are
dry.
not used to see this condition here in Léger. Super dry.
What can you do in terms of bike setup, Miriam, for
I
these
mean, like,
conditions?
this is something super important here, and if you are in a big team, if you've been working hard in tough condition, for example,
2.3 backside
to
and
set
drop
a
to Miriam.
bike, not too soft, not too hard, like, it's a big change.
Yeah, 2.3 back for Seagrave at the third split, but between the third and fourth one does seem to be so important.
Looking good online, but look like she's not carrying as much speed. But now it's look like a little bit better.
Yeah, Farina was fast through there.
Yes. Like say Miriam, she's comfortable like Val di Sole when it was steep for
Exactly, I
Farina.
was really impressed with her riding.
Hard to keep the momentum there. You see, like she stopped the bike a little bit, but hey.
It's very similar to Val di Sole as well in this section. Laurie Greenland told us that there's lots of ruts in there. They just fill with dust and you can't see them.
Yes, 3.6 now back.
Yeah, 3.6 back for Seagrave.
And she's not cruising. She's just going, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, I can't really see any issues along the run, but the time's moving backwards a bit for the British rider. 3.6 now. As she gets ready for this final right-hander before the line.
You see the suspension work before that last corner. It's
Seagrave
impressive.
crosses the line in fourth then. 4.6 seconds back into fourth place.
Quite a bit of time, Miriam. 4.6 is
Yeah, I mean, like, maybe she's saving some energy,
Yes.
but
maybe under
kind
control.
of slowly.
This woman, though, is riding herself back into a great bit of form. The Slovenian Monika Hrastnik.
Oh, aggressive.
Yeah, she was sixth.
Nice double there.
Sixth in Ludenveld last time out. She was third in qualifying yesterday, so 2 to go after her today.
Losing some time on the first split, and she looked pretty good to me, but not fast enough so far.
It's pretty tight, but
Pretty
you can
tight.
see she's going for it.
Look how much work she's having to do on the bike as well. It's so rough, and dappled light through there, making the line choice all the harder.
Yeah, 2 line, it was an inside and outside. You need to cut really sharp there to keep the speed for it looked like a little bit, a little uphill, then you need to carry that speed. You want to save some energy there. You don't want to stop the bike. You want to keep the bike rolling. Speed is your friend there.
Nearly 7/10 back. Miriam, from a race bike, how much of those lines can you actually see, or do you have to trust that they're there in the light conditions like
I
that?
mean, like, you need to choose before you run, but in this condition you have to be ready for anything, because it's so easy to have a change in your lines, and you just have to be strong and feel confident.
Whoa,
She's
almost lost the
going for
front.
it.
Yes. You mean, like, Miriam, you need to have a plan A, B, and maybe C on your line choice.
That's kind of the plan.
The plan is that many plans as Monika Hrastnik heads towards the third split, and she's still in touch here.
That's pretty tight.
When Miriam was saying like she was attacking, she was exactly right, and you can translate this about her time right now.
So Monika in the same team of Camille Balanche that we miss, and she's riding Commensal really good bike. You can see how it's working really good.
I should point out that Miriam also rides for Commensal, for any of you who are new who are
Look
joining
at
us for the
this.
first time.
It works so good. She lost a tiny bit of time right there.
Yeah, she was the
compared to Eleonora.
European champ, 21 and 22, Hrastnik, so she's definitely got the speed when it counts.
It looked hard when they don't take the inside over the stump. It's a lot more of the corner, but it looked like she's fast
She's
too.
nearly 0.8 of a second faster here at the fourth split. Hrastnik, as she heads into the big last half there before the gap.
Oh, she is holding on.
It's so good to see her riding like that.
She looks
I
like
love
she's
it.
enjoying it as well,
Yeah,
doesn't she?
I
She
mean,
looks like
like-
she's enjoying her racing again this year.
And she's pedaling hard, like you say, Miriam. You have to pedal hard. No cruising there. You will lose time.
But this last bedwing section is hard, and you can see the girls are a bit struggling with this last jump, and this will be a key point.
Into the right-hander then. Hrastnik heads towards the line. Monika Hrastnik goes fastest by 1.1 second in the semi-final. If the elite women in Léger.
Great run.
Superb. Well, as all of the French crowd take a breath.
Inside on the first corners.
Marine Cabirou, second fastest qualifier yesterday, 1 to go after her, leaves the start hut.
She was so frustrated not to ride last year for World Champs due to a back injury, and she's so happy to be there this year.
Miriam, how big a race is this for the French racers today?
That's the one we are all waiting for.
Oh, she's quick. She looked quick to me. I don't know.
Whoa, 1.1 seconds faster. Marine Cabirou at the first split.
No wonder I couldn't keep the back wheel.
1.4 now at the second split. Yep, Cedric needs this run to be quick.
Oh, look at the inside line. She
you
did
can
that.
see Marin find the pace back. She's back into it. I'm
She
so
looks
happy
smooth.
to see this.
Yeah, and she's riding confident. When she decides something, she go for it. You can see like full-on commitment, hitting the line she won.
She's one of those racers, Miriam, isn't it? Whenever she's in form, it looks like she's got time on the bike.
Yes,
Everything
I mean,
works as one.
I can definitely say she's feeling good on the bike, and she's fit, so
She's even faster, 1.4 on the second split time. Can she do even better than that?
Listen to the noise for Cabirou as she attacks the second half of this track now. Looking really, really strong through there.
That was fast.
She heads down onto the pedal now before the jumps.
Yeah, and she's not afraid to break that pedal, pushing hard.
Precision through there from Cabirou.
This left-hander is pretty hard to
Yeah,
manage.
it's hard. One inside, really inside, and the line on the outside with a little rat, but not so easy. It's a little bit out of camber as well. This I find it really technical.
You're so close to that tree on the left-hand side.
2.1.
2.1 faster for Cabirou
Look
now.
at the dust flying. Oh, I love that.
Maybe, just maybe then, Cabirou, she is protected, so she has, I mean, I said she has got time to relax here. She is not relaxing at all.
No, nicely done there,
She's
keeping the
pushing.
inside.
This is where she was so good in that GoPro course preview.
That's
off that,
insane.
Oh, she's on the limit, dogs.
off that stump gap, 2.2 seconds faster for Cabirou now. Marine Cabirou is sending a message here in the semi-finals for the elite women in Léger.
Oh, she want to take that one, I guess, at home. You know,
Yes.
if you want to get one, it's this one.
Marine Cabirou stands on the pedals of that Scott Gambler, 29-29 front and rear. Maybe what you want today on this super fast Léger track.
Yeah, you want to keep that bike rolling, and when it's rolling, it's fast on the 29-29.
Cabirou round the right-hander. What is she going to stop the clock at? Marine Cabirou crosses the line with a free 52.42 seconds faster than Monica Rasnick. One rider left at the top, and the only rider who's gone faster than that on this track this weekend is this woman, Valentina Hall. She stopped the clocks at a free 48.6 yesterday, but Marine Cabirou has just thrown down the gauntlet in the semi-final here today.
Yes.
What can Valley do?
Nice double there, and you see the different line at the first corner. She was using the full corner, and then Miriam was in Marine was in the inside. And she's fast on the first split.
She's half a second
half a
faster.
second.
Sits down just for a second on that little flat beside the lake before attacking this lower wood section. Whoa!
Oh, she's on the limit as well.
Trek Remedy trying to get
She's
away from
riding
underneath her.
So good. Like you can see how much she's going faster on this section.
I see the bike looking for grip.
Another rider who is protected, of course, but somebody, again, who is unlikely to leave anything in the locker. 2.1 seconds faster at the second split.
What a run.
It's a lot. 2 seconds on split number 2.
Miriam, what's the difference with Valley this year? What's she found?
I think she found the confidence. We've seen Valley crashing many times racing, and she's done some really good races, so her confidence is at the highest now, and she's riding the bike so good, and I'm waiting to see her on the last jumps.
Yeah.
Impressive the way she attacks, and you see she's not sleeping when she's cornering. She already want to go to the next one. She want more and faster.
Valley is a really good skier, and we are talking about people from Australia, but skiing is a bit like dust, you know, like you're kind of surfing.
Wow, the outside line here, you can see the bike.
2.5 seconds faster at the third split now for Hull.
Keep increasing.
So we know Valley can wrap up the overall today. She's going to hold the pressure.
Missed the line there a bit.
Yep, the overall, it's within her grasp, mathematically at least anyway.
Yeah, try to wrap up early the title.
So you can see on track and training she's definitely fastest, but the mental game is gonna be huge today.
Yeah, I think you're right. Mental game today. So again, not taking the inside in the stump here.
Cameraman could hardly keep up with her there. 2.2, so she's lost 0.3 of a second, but that won't matter to her.
Still plenty of time to play with.
Oh, big straight line, just squares that corner off, leaps high onto the left-hand side so she can drift down under that compression, across the road safely, heads down to these final jumps.
Yeah, she want to grab those points. They are so important today for her to try to wrap up the overall.
Points mean
nice.
prizes. Valentina Hall.
Yeah, this jump so
49.7 on the speed trap.
Nearly 50 kilometers an hour, crosses the line in the semi-final, and Valentina Hall, 3:48.9. 3.4 seconds faster than Cabirou in the semi-final. Still just 0.3 of a second outside of that qualifying time from yesterday, but she's won that session. And she's won herself a load more points, and she has won herself another step towards that overall title.
Yeah, that tracks, you know, with all the practice in the morning, is not getting better.
No, it is not indeed. I'll tell you what's really impressive, Miriam, is the fact that she's done it across all tracks and all conditions, hasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, she's a super good rider, and Valley has been riding her bikes forever, and she's super technical.
Here's the results then. Hole from Cabirou, Rasnick, Farina steps up one place from qualifying, Bauman's in 5th, superb from her, Nina Hoffman safely through in 6th, Gracie Hemstreet unfortunately misses out, as does Ferguson, Gale, Ahern, Vidman and Lan. So we have our 10 riders for the final.
Look at the replay. Boom, compression. Look at the fork work. Look the way she telling the bike, you're going there.
Valley, you're very good at making a run like that look pretty easy, but just how difficult is it battling the elements in this heat as well?
It's mental. Like, this track is so much more physical than last week, I feel like. And yeah, just trying to keep it together. It's quite loose and rough and hard on the arms, so I'm trying to recover now quick.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. In terms of your lines, anything you're gonna mix up?
No, just a bit slow into some sections, but it's good if it's enough, so it's fine.
Well, we'll see you later. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, that was extremely impressive from Valentina Hull. Will she go faster again come the finals? Here are the standings in after that semi-final session. 554 points now, the gap between Hull and Hoffman. 714, Cabirou is back. Léger bakes in the sun, as it has done all week. Not much cool air moving around this place. But we are getting ready to go live for the elite men's semi-final here from the UCI Mountain Bike World Series, Haute Savoie. This man thrilled the French crowds last time out in Ludenville-Peyragueux. Loic Bruni got his first win of the season, has the overall titles leaders jersey as well. Jackson Goldstone won last time. Val di Sole Trentino, Santa Cruz Syndicate youngster, would like to grab his second win of the season. Man still in the hunt for his first. Finn Isles, he had that jersey, that overall points leaders jersey before that DSQ in Ludenville-Peyragueux. Can he make some inroads into getting it back today? And there you see the dirt on the side of Benoit Coulange, but crucially, fastest qualifier. Last time out. Sorry, this time out. Andreas Kolb for Continental Afferden, big Austrian, took the big win in Leogang earlier on in the year. And a man who might just go well today. In fact, there he is on the left. And I'm glad to say his teammate, Charlie Hatton, has just joined us in the booth. Charlie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. It feels pretty strange to be on this side of it, but I know I'm excited for a new challenge.
Yeah, the arm is all bandaged up, so what is the prognosis?
Yeah, unfortunately in Ludenville, fell off in the finals, and looks like I broke my ulna and radius, so it's not the end of the world, but yeah, I'd rather be racing today, that's for sure.
Well, those who are working today, Loic Bruni, standings 90 points clear of Finn Isles. Jackson Goldstone 92. Behind him, just 2 points between second and third. Lucas Shaw's in 11th. Then it's Bernard Kerr 12th. Dakota Norton 13th. Greg Menars 14th. Levesque went extremely fast in qualifying yesterday, 15th. I'm sorry, I never introduced you as the UCI World Champion either. That should. Do you demand that people say that on your arrival places now? Or?
Yeah, they do. I forget sometimes as well myself. So.
Except when you put the jerseys on.
It still feels weird.
How do you feel? You know, like, it's so good to have you here first, and just to put the jersey for the first time.
Yeah, it was incredible to put that on for the first time. I think after winning it in Fort William, yeah, it was an absolute dream come true, and to put it on for the first time, it felt, yeah, insane really. And I think I still feel like I'm riding the high. Even though I'm sat here with a broken arm, I'm still like, I still wake up with a big smile on my face.
That's awesome.
That is what it's all about. Here's your semi-final start list then. Menard, Hart, Piercy's right up there in amongst it. Commensal Lesor. Then it's Isles, Meyer-Smith, Bandera. What a season he's having. Goldstone, Levesque, Ollie Davis, Loic Bruni, Troy Brosnan, Dakota Norton still riding that wave of form. Bruni and Coulange last to leave. Let's talk about Benoit Coulange. What a season, and disappointment in Ludenville, but today maybe?
I think he's got to be up there for one of the favourites. He's riding incredible at the minute, so yeah, I think he's going to be really fast today.
Yeah, it would be good if he can pay off, because he's turning around for quite a bit now. It would be good if he can go through. For him, especially here in Léger, I guess, you know, like it would be the perfect day.
So 21 degrees Celsius here in Léger. It's been hot all week. It's been consistent all week. The track extremely battered and blowing out as we get ready to go racing for the elite men's semi-final here from Haute Savoie, Léger.
Not the usual kind of dry condition in Léger. It's usually moist or rain and slippery, and now it's like Kamloops in Canada or something.
It looks really, really tough up there. I watched some of my teammate Andy Cobb's GoPro last night, and I can't believe how destroyed the track is.
Yeah, it's hard to find
really
the grip.
rough, isn't it? We just saw
really
during the elite women's semi-final. It looked distinctly Val di Sole in places. Just the big holes filled with dust.
Yeah, it's definitely getting that way.
It looked like you cannot trust the ground too much. You know?
Here we go then. We are racing in the semi-finals of the elite men's race here from Léger. Harry Malloy leaves the start hut for Continental Nuke-Proof Factory Racing. Man who's done so much work behind the scenes for that squad.
Can't believe they're still pedaling so hard on the off-camber right away, full on.
Like Bruni told us yesterday, that top bit doesn't actually feel that fast until that gap where all of a sudden it narrows.
They shrink, it looked like too small. Even that drop is quite small. Because you go so fast, the light transition is so hard here. How you deal with that? Like different lens, like clear lens or different?
It's very tough with the light and dark patches you've got. There's not really a lot you can do. I know some people, when they come into like a light and dark section, they say to blink.
Yeah.
Literally like try and refocus your eyes, I guess. But yeah, it's really, really hard.
If I blink, I would never make the corner.
That was an old Dan Afferton trick from years ago, wasn't it? He used to do road gaps and close his eyes mid-air.
I think that's who told me, actually.
I don't doubt it as well, knowing that man. But Malloy here, you can just see the dust kicking up over that little gap jump. I say little, there's nothing little about it as he heads into these corners.
Yeah, hard to find this grip in the corner. You want to keep the inside and the upper line so hard to take. I tried twice on my 2 run, I never made it. Yeah. I was like, what's wrong with you? It's so hard. Like, you don't see how much off-camber compression. I mean, you can see a little bit on the TV, but can you imagine it's just twice harder?
So 60 riders here, we'll take it down to 30 plus any protected who are outside it. Charlie, what sort of pressure does the semi-final structure bring to riders at the top if you're not protected?
Yeah, if you're not protected, it's huge pressure on your shoulders. I think for some people, maybe they'll treat that as their final, because to get into the top 30 is it's extremely difficult, and everyone now has got everything so dialed. The bike set up, everything trains really hard. He's getting loose.
Yeah, getting loose, man.
Malloy just bobbled down the exit out into the open, managed to gather it back up again. You can see just how deep the dust is as well up there. Does the Flying Scotsman gap then?
Now it's time to take those fingers out the livers and just all the sausage around the grip.
As he heads over the gap. Sausages and all then across the road section. Bike just wandering away from underneath him there, but Malloy gathers it up. Harry's throwing everything at this, you know.
Are you attack a semi-final? Just full on or keep a little bit for the final?
Personally, I try and keep a little bit for the final, but it's always tough because you just go a little bit slower in each section, and before you know it, you're 5 seconds behind, so it's tough.
Malloy crosses the line then with a 3:31.8. So our fastest qualifying time yesterday was a 3:22.6. Elliot Beau from France. It's 2.6 down, I reckon, by my clock here, further into the run.
So hard. You see the bike is like, it's so bumpy there. You feel like it's, it's flat, but it's not. And this is quite a bit of a corner too. It is quite a bit of a corner.
It's
because
interesting.
with the speed.
Whenever you walk it,
oh, it was on the limit. Oh, it just clipped it just before the drop.
Whenever you walk it, that top section looks basically straight. But whenever you actually see the speed that the elite riders are riding it at, there's corners aplenty in the middle of it.
Yeah, because the speed it comes, with the speed come corners like that.
2.3 seconds back for Beau as we rejoin his run live now at the bottom. 50 kilometers an hour first we've seen today through the speed trap. 3.6 seconds back for the Frenchman.
That track is going to be so hard to attack from just the gate to the final drops, and it's going to be mentally, really physical mentally. Like, you have to be focused all the way down. You cannot.
Yeah, definitely. It's especially with the conditions like this, it's so hard to know where the limit is, and you can think you're going fast, but yeah, it's always on the edge almost.
Well, Alex Franco's gets some pedals in across that off camber. He's half a second faster now, the Frenchman, at the fourth split.
It was good on split number 3. He did something really special there.
Is there any kind of statue or tribute to Andy Kolb's save at that road gap?
He needs one.
Franco heads the line, second fastest, just outside that time of Harry Malloy. Yeah, that really, really wet race we had here a couple of years ago, and Andy Kolb managed to get it all gathered up. Mr. Drifter.
He loves getting sideways, that man.
Inside.
There's a lot of them to get sideways as well. Ian Guyenet.
He's done that nicely.
Guyenet, 700s faster now, 7,000, excuse me.
Yeah, looking good. You see, like, a back wheel swinging like this.
That stump gap is worth the time, isn't it? Half a second. But it must be extremely difficult getting to really accurate points like that gap whenever the conditions are so loose.
Yeah, it's really tough, and I think almost a stump gap like that, you could hit it fast, but then you square off the next corner, and then you lose all the time to the finish line. So necessarily the people that might go slower over that stump gap to set up wide for the left actually might pay off.
Yeah, especially when you don't want to touch the brakes there, and it's a bit of a camber, and it's fast.
Yeah.
Guyenet down the line. Are we going to see a new hot seat later? Ian Guyenet goes 1.1 seconds slower than Harry Malloy. So we are in the semi-finals for the elite men. Dean Lucas just announced last night he will be retiring from international downhill racing. Nearly retired from that corner.
Yeah, but the way he come back so quick, foot on the pedal, was impressive, because look at the time on split number 3, 0.2. And this is the kind of condition he like, you know, like he know that kind of dust.
Yeah, Dean Lucas, he's been around the sport for a long, long time. The Australian has decided that after some injury issues in 2020, he just hasn't really refound his love for racing again, so we'll be bidding farewell at the end of the season.
0.4 on split number 4, 52 kilometers an hour on the speed trap.
Yeah, Lucas trucking down the bottom of this one, goes into third place, a second back in the semi-finals, so we'll be taking 30 through, plus any protected riders outside of that, as they are coming thick and fast here in Léger. Emile Rillat.
Looks like such a hard start to the track. Like, there's no easing into it. It's straight into some of the hardest corners you could probably put on the track.
Yeah, and it's bumping, big holes in there.
Fully blown out.
Yes.
Rillat is a second back.
1.1 now on split number 4. You see that heavy landing, yeah? Hard.
I think the landing coming out of that woods is, yeah, really, really crucial. You carry all that speed down this whole section, and I think, yeah, you could lose almost seconds, I think.
We saw
such
yesterday.
a simple part of the track as well, but yeah, it's very important.
I think a second, and even a little bit more on the short, I mean, a short distance, that's quite a lot of time. I mean, if you know, it's maybe your last chance, you know? You're like, all right, flat out.
It's one of those tracks, isn't it? As Roots get Rillat over the line here in the semis, he's 3.5 back on the time of Malloy. One of those tracks that it's just begging to take time away from you everywhere.
Yeah, any little mistake is just going to zap your speed.
Matt Walker made it through to the big show, the Pivot Factory racing rider.
Oh, aggressive outside the second corner.
From New Zealand, 2.2 seconds faster though for Matt Walker.
Oh, it's quick. Oh, that was good. You know, long.
Squashed.
Yeah, squash it. Try to get as much speed as you can. Impressive riders, you know how to do everything, you know. 2.3 on split number 4 in the green.
Walker.
He's going to carry good speed down here. He's a heavy rider, so I think he's going to be flying down this bottom section.
Really, really popular rider. Won the UCI Enduro World Cup in Val di Fassa Trentino earlier in the season on the smaller bike. What can he do in the big one? Matt Walker then down the line for Pivot Factory Racing, goes fastest by 2.5 seconds from Harry Malloy. What a run from Matt Walker.
And the last corner, he did it so good, and it's not that easy. That corner's got start to be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, that last corner's going to claim some victims, I think.
Greg Williamson from Tour, up near Inverness in the Highlands of Scotland. From Madison Saracen, he's in touch here. Williamson's in touch, just a 10th of a second back of that time from Walker.
This will be interesting. He went around the stump.
He's a second faster, so he went round the stump a second faster for Williamson.
It looked like when you go around, you set up better for that berm.
Williamson going hard left over the rider's left on the lad off camber.
Big man on the bike.
Yeah, he's a big, powerful rider. He's gonna, well, we'll see what the finish line time says, but I think this could be pretty good.
Greg Williamson, just one more corner to go then. 54.5 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. Bike trying to get away from on the inside of that corner. Williamson crosses the line 1.4 seconds faster than Matt Walker. Great run from the Scotsman. Johan Garçon then, Scott Downhill Factory Racing, just trying to get out of those corners as quickly as possible. They look really tricky those first couple of turns, Charlie.
Yeah, super hard. I think it can almost dictate the run, and if you have them not so good, it's very hard to mentally say, right, we need to keep pushing there.
2.4 split number 4, he's losing time more and more. He was in the green on split number 1.
Yeah, Garçon moving backwards a bit as the run's gone on.
Everything looks so fast for me. It's hard, you know, when we don't see on screen where you make the mistake, where you lost time, you know.
Really attacking the bottom section here, Garçon though.
Oh, nice manual there. It's like a little bump, like a roller there.
52 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. Garçon down over the line.
3.5 back on Johan Garçon.
Thibault Lally then for Pink Bike Racing. Big race for him at home in France.
I think all the Frenchies are going to give the best. He's in the green.
It's in the green by 0.6 of a second, Thibault Lally.
Oh, he went over the stump, like no inside, just on top of it.
He's lost a bit of time.
Yes, maybe that line you're saying, maybe it's better to be around, carry speed.
Yeah, I think it's, you'll get to the corner faster on the stump, but the exit speed's just going to be zapped, I think.
Yeah, you're making things a little bit more squares and when you go around and carry a lot more speed. Pushing hard though for Thibault Lally.
Thibault Lally, 50.8 kilometers an hour through the speed trap.
4 kilometers difference compared to Williamson.
Yeah, Greg was super fast through that speed trap.
And no skin suit.
No skin suit.
No skin suit, no.
Just big powerful legs, I think.
Just all beef, yeah. As we see Sebastian Hogan-Villa from Colombia lead the start hut. Charlie, you won the UCI World Championships earlier in the year at your home round, Fort William. How much of a difference? We just talked about the French riders racing in front of a French crowd. Like, tell us the actual realities of racing at home. Is it different?
Yeah, it is different, definitely. I think a lot more people recognise you. You've got a lot more familiar faces, and yeah, to get a good result at home is, yeah, it makes it extra special. So yeah, it's incredible to ride in front of a home crowd.
Is it a busier weekend? Have you more on?
Yeah, 100%. A lot more people, like, well, I guess you know more people, so you're just chatting to a lot more people, and yeah, it's really cool.
Don't they distract you too much? So that it's hard to be nice and be focused.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to find the balance, but no, it's cool.
Hogan-Villa across the line in 4 seconds back off that time from Williamson. Great time from Greg Williamson. As we see another Williamson, no relation. Matt Williamson this time, leaving the start hut.
I think the inside of those corners, the first corners, is definitely the key, I think. Less bumpy, less turbulence right away in the beginning of your run.
Well, he was in touch and we saw him square off that first...
Oh! Yeah.
Huge smash for...
You see how fast it is?
Matt
He keeps
Williamson.
sliding. Wow, lost the front there. He charged it into the front and just lost the grip. Look there. Oh, it did drift for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with these conditions. It's very dry, but there's so much loose stuff on the surface that you just go slightly off that clean line and yeah, you're down.
And Charlie stating the obvious here. He'll have known nothing about that crash, will he?
Oh no, that'll be such a surprise, and yeah, before you know it, you're down.
Antoine Roche.
He's looking good at the top. Oh, smooth there.
1.2 seconds faster for Antoine Roche, the Frenchman.
Oh, he's carrying speed on that tricky corner there.
The man who calls himself Roger.
Roger.
Nice out lap berm, safely over the gap jump. And you see Williamson still getting himself back onto the track there. What a crash that was. 1.1 seconds at the fourth split, but faster from Roche.
Yeah, doing good there.
Yeah, he's tucking. I think that's a crucial thing. I'm not sure which one's going to be faster.
Miriam told us you have to pedal all the way. She didn't pedal
really?
and she lost. Then, you have to pedal, she said.
51 kilometers an hour through the spree trap from Roche. He has a go at crashing himself in the middle of that corner, but Roche crosses the line. 0.4 of a second faster than Williamson, but that would have been faster without that bubble. Jackson Connolly from Australia for Team High Country leaves the start hop. Well, he was faster at the second split, 0.2 of a second up, but he's nearly a second back at the third. But, I mean, that crash from Williamson, if we wanted to talk about just how beaten up this track is, it looked like he just found a hole in the middle of that straight.
And he keeps sliding, have you seen? Just sliding forever.
You know what, I didn't want to mention, I fell over a couple of times walking down there the other day.
You have the wrong shoes.
Yeah, I do. But that grass is really, really slippery despite how dry it is.
Yeah, it's deceivingly slippery, and as I said before, there's normally there gets one very clean line, which is the obvious racing line, I guess. And as soon as you just step your tyres just outside of that, it is like ice.
Well, that's what was happening to me then, nothing to do with old age. Jackson Connolly crosses the line, 1.6 seconds back on that time of Roche. So just a reminder, 30 riders will go through from these semi-finals, plus any protected riders outside of that. Taylor Vernon, a man you know really, really well, Charlie.
Yeah, these conditions are going to be pretty hard for Taylor, obviously, coming from the depths of Wales. He's riding in the wet all winter, so these are going to be pretty... he kept out of there, nice.
Taylor, a great little rider to watch, but he's 2.6 seconds back at the fourth split.
Come on, Taylor.
Like you say, you know, it looked flat from above or behind, but it's so bumpy, the ground here on the high speed, and those little bumps, they will create turbulence on your cockpit.
Definitely.
It's such a funny sport, isn't it? As you say, Taylor's training grounds naturally through some super steep, wet downhill tracks in Wales, and when you come out here to France and the speed is so much higher and there's so much room around you, let's just get them down to the line then. 2.8 seconds off that time of Roche. How difficult is it to prepare for that contrast?
Yeah, I think it's something that I've really struggled with, and in the wet I love the conditions. Obviously something like Fort William, it was perfect for me, but then say Andorra is such a big contrast. It's really, really tough to try and train in both. It's hard.
Yeah, as we see Simen Smestad from Norway, 2.6 seconds outside that time of Roche.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting what you say. You know, you need to be able to be good everywhere now. You need to maybe fly somewhere for a couple of weeks to train something different than home, because you will face some of this different condition, and you need to be good. If you're looking for the overall, you need to be, you need to be on the A game.
Well, that's what we just talked about in the elite women's semi-final. What's been so impressive with Valley Hole this year is that it doesn't matter what the weather's been doing, what the track's like, she just smashes it. And that's what confidence does for you, I guess.
So impressive to see. Like, to win a race is really, really tough, but then to consistently do it in different conditions is really hard.
Well, Theo Erlingson, we mentioned that the bigger riders might go well at the bottom of the track here. Big man from South Africa leaves the star hop.
And it's dry in South Africa. It's dusty in South Africa.
That's well pointed out, Cedric. It is indeed. He's 1/10 of a second faster at the first split. But it's moved back away from half a second loss between 3 and 4. Takes on this big straight, slings it left over the gap jump.
You see the body position, you know, like almost like a skier will do.
Yeah, just tucks in behind the bars. Erlingson now over these final jumps, not a problem to him. A self-styled free racer.
I'm
Will
interested about the speed
on the last jump. He's gone low.
It would be a bold
He's
move.
a racer.
53.5 kilometers an hour. Erlingson then down towards the line. He's been backing up and down the whole run. Second, 0.2 of a second outside the time of Roche. Should be happy with that though. Magnussen just getting his breath after that. Kai Ahern having a good season.
Right kit.
The Australian on the NS, yep. Definitely will not miss the kit and the matchy fork combo.
Aaron Green say he liked that. It looked like Monaco. Oh, doubling that big hold there. Nicely done. Whoa, super high there on the line. This is hard. You need to crank so hard for that double, and it's another kick. This is, I find it really hard, especially after that braking, that rat, and the next corner there. So hard.
Oh, getting bucked slightly on entry there. 9.
That line is so hard.
Second. Third split for Kai Ahern. He was 20th last time out in Lunéville-Peyregout. So
taking risks is paying so far. In the green on split number 3.
Did a lot of the Crankworks competitions earlier on the season, the different sort of speed and style, different formats, mix things up a bit, but 27th in Andorra Pal-Aransal earlier in the season, 20th last time out, Lunéville-Peyregout, but he's lost time, and that must have been that entry, yeah?
Yeah, I think coming out just...
Yeah. Like you say, every time someone takes over the stump is losing time.
Yeah, I think it just forces you into squaring that turn off, and then you lose a lot of your exit speed.
And is that one of those ones that might have changed from the last practice runs? There might have just been a hole there or something that's stopping the bikes.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's so tough. Like from run to run with a track like this, it changes so much. So you've almost got to be looking super far ahead to try and. If you just need to be slightly left or right of your line you've been practicing, yeah, it's not easy.
Well, this man, Austin Dooley, rated extremely highly by last week's guest.
Oh, he went down. He's dirty on the right side.
Yeah, 6.8 back, so the American has been down the telltale sign, the sleeve rolled up.
Yeah.
Cracking on, though.
Do you think that we go lower than 322? Because the track is getting worse. I mean, 322 was fast.
Yeah, that's an insane time. I think I'm sure they would have left a little bit in the tank, maybe. And obviously for the finals, they're going to risk a bit more. But
you think Benoit Coulon just left something in the tank? Have you seen the man ride a bike?
Yeah, I reckon he's got a couple of seconds. I think we'll go sub 20 for the finals.
Sub 20.
I heard he have a I heard he have a nickname, Jet.
Benny the Jet.
Benny the Jet.
Benny the Jet. I've not heard that one.
Cedric Telfaye then. Leaving the start hut as we jump on board the live drone.
I race with his dad.
You know you're getting on whenever you say that, don't you? A fast Cedric though, on track again for the second time this weekend.
Yeah, he's in contact on the split number 3.
Yeah, half a second. What a racer his dad was as well.
Yes. Nice inside line there for Cedric.
Sorry, graphic is wrong, just a correction. This is Joe Breeden, of course, we're talking about.
Come on, Joey.
Joe
Breeden's dad, not exactly slow wheeler. Joe, yeah, he's just been really unlucky this year, Charlie, hasn't he? He seems to be the speeds there, it just hasn't gone his way, but he's 300s up at the second split, 6/10 back at the third though.
That braking in that corner is so rough because it's a lot of roots there, and you see like the bike is hitting heavy roots and just hard to keep the grip and the bike straight. Like here, there, this as well.
Yeah, it's so hard to set your bike up for these conditions because the ground is just moving underneath you constantly, so it's very tough to get it right.
Riding that
Joe looks like he's ripping it.
Yeah,
that prototype intense bike. I had a look at it in the pits earlier in the week. The HP6, welded up by Jeff Stieber, a brand that is just so iconic in terms of mountain bike racing, and big bike, but they make it work. Dakota Norton second last time out on it, 7/10 of a second back at the fourth split, so could well be riding himself into a qualifying spot here, Joe Breeden.
Come on, Joey, pedal.
He set up those corners in the grass really nicely. We'll see if it's paying off.
Just the speed setting. It's 51.5.
Yeah, Breeden down towards the line, and Joe Breeden goes 3:28.354, 8/10 of a second back into fourth place. So good run from Joe Breeden. Importantly, it looked clean. Connor Fearon for Forbidden Synthesis.
Flat pedals, a man I love to see on the bike because he's so impressive.
Yes, he will be used to these conditions as well. The deep dust, the man from Australia.
1.3 back on the speed number 3. 2.4 now.
Flat pedals down through all this fast, choppy stuff though.
I don't know.
It's so tough to keep your feet on the pedals. I don't know how he does it.
Goes low there actually.
Looks like there's a big divot onto that road. I wonder if just staying slightly more to the left is going to be a bit smoother and carry a bit more speed.
Yes, it's so hard to pedal here on the straightaway with the flat pedals.
49.5 kilometers an hour through the speed trap for Fearon as he rails that last right-hander down the line. Connor Fearon, 3.5 seconds outside the current hot seat time in the semi-finals of Antoine Roche. Eyes wide open as you'd expect. Josh Carlson there to annoy him straight away. Antoine Fearon for the Union Forged by Steel City Media, the development squad.
Dirty, he's dirty.
Yeah, looks like he's been down Fearon. He was fastest at the third split, but he's only lost 0.8 seconds with a crash. So
With a crash, depends the crash, but I mean, he was probably like flat out.
He's got up quick from that one. I think he did really well last weekend, didn't he?
It's pretty dirty though, it's not a small crash. 2.8 back on the split number 4. 49.9 on the speed trap, kilometers an hour.
the Union having a really, really good season. Heads towards the line. Antoine Fearon, 13.3.8 inside the time of Antoine Roche. Next up is an absolute fairy tale story. Dylan Maples had an absolutely superb time of it in Ludenville Peyragu. He's been getting better and better all season. Then, whoa! Colin Salmukov give him the wild card entry on the factory team. New bike, new kit.
That's incredible, you know.
Yeah, so cool to see.
3 seconds slower Maples here from the USA. What a save that was at the top of that drop though.
Yeah, you do not want to be going down there with 1 foot on the pedal.
No, and it's so steep. I can't believe he managed that.
It'd be great to see more of this in downhill, wouldn't it, though? Like riders getting onto the factory teams, you know, who've done well and impressed this during the season. That's why the wildcard rule is there, similar to motorsport in that regard. Let's get Maples down the line then. 52.4 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. Maples, 12th in the semi-final, 3.5 seconds outside the time of Antoine Roche. So, yet to remain to be seen if that'll get him through. David Trimmer, he's missed a lot of this season, the Austrian. Really neat and tidy through those first corners.
Yeah, this man's had a tough couple of months. I think he had surgery on his back. So yeah, to see him back riding is so cool.
In contact now.
36th last time out as well in Ludenville Peyragu. So he's in touch the whole way down here, so really positive in terms of working his way back up to speed. Charlie, in terms of coming back from an injury, is that just really what you want to do in these first few races, just be in touch and being amongst it?
Yeah, I guess I'll let you know in about 6 weeks. But no, it's really tough. I think it's more the mental side of it. Like, I think you're always going to be really talented on the bike. It's just the head game and just really just turning that switch of the speed. But yeah, he's obviously he's doing pretty well.
1.7 seconds back off Roche then. Trimmer on his way back, still got the national champ sleeve.
Yeah, sometimes we can see like the confidence take for a long time to come back sometimes.
Simon Chapelet, Cube factory racing rider, on clips there around that left-hander, maybe giving you an idea of just how loose it's got.
Yeah, those berms are really, really bumpy.
1.1 seconds back at the first split. 1.9 seconds back then at the fourth split for Simon Chapelet. Actually gets me back to my hotel every evening. There's posters off him all along the walk of how I get back to my hotel from here randomly.
Look how hard he's pedaling on that section. He listened million tips.
1.9 at the fourth split for the young Frenchman from Cube Factory Racing. Simon Chapelet, 2.4 seconds then. Tell you what, that time of Roche is standing up really well.
Yep. Big difference on speed between different riders.
Yeah, I think that speed trap is crucial, and it's...
Oh
my God, that was a good save.
Oh, the good save.
Well, I mean, it's early in the day for save of the day, but that one is right up there. Palazzari.
It was 1.7 back on the sprint number 2, and he's back in the game on sprint number 4 in the half a second.
Well, Palazzari does not know when he's beaten here in Léger. Half a second back after, I don't know, sort of like a mid-air can-can start excursion, but over the gap jump. Heads towards the big triple.
And it was a big drop after that too.
Palazzari down the line. What can he rescue from that run? All action as ever. 0.8 of a second. You'd take that after that, wouldn't you?
That's a great recovery from Superman and on the third turn to, yeah.
I think
he's not in time back.
The hands never left the grips the whole way through.
Yeah, he was committed.
Almost the same there.
Thomas Estac destroys whatever was left of the second half of that corner.
I mean, one of the guy I love to watch by, you know, the style, what he's doing, different line, and sometimes some of the line you would never imagine.
He rides a bike like we all think we ride a bike in our heads, apart from maybe Charlie. But
it looks so fast, though.
Oh, he's on a good one.
Yeah, 1 point green the whole way down for Estac. 1.3 seconds at the fourth split, so plenty of time left up there. Estac stands on the pedals now, heads towards the big jump before the last right-hander.
They want to take me for a team camp next year. I said no.
You mightn't come back from it, yeah. Heads down towards the line. Thomas Estac crosses the line 1.4 seconds faster. French crowd liking that one.
I know, it was good in Ludenvielle as well.
Max Hartenstern then for the Cube Factory Racing squad in the semi-final. We're going to take 30 riders. Plus any of the protected outside of that. Really nice through there for Hartenstern.
Yeah, 1 second back so far for Max. I've been riding with him in Italy, and he was so fast after the 2 corners I couldn't even see him anymore. He's so quick. He will definitely deserve a really good result, just to, you know, a little bit of a payback, you know, with all the hard work.
Yeah,
1.1.
Definitely a good result coming for this man soon. He works incredibly hard. So
it takes time, though, doesn't it? Look at yourself.
Does,
look at Andy Cole. You know, you've got to pay your dues in this sport.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't come overnight. You've got to be patient and almost believe it's going to come.
I mean, even as we get Hartenstern over the line, then 1.6 back. Even if you talk about the likes of Jackson Goldstone, you know, like, okay, he's won his first elite level World Cup this year, but he's been on a bike for 17 years.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't come quickly.
Yeah, he's an exceptional talent.
Baptiste Piron.
And there's a quick one from the family.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we talked earlier in the weekend to Dakota Norton about that big result from the last round, and he said that, you know, he was starting to think it mightn't ever come because he came to the sport quite late compared to a lot of people.
1.2 did good after spin number 3. Get some time back. It was interesting the line he did there. He went over the stump, but really set up really early, and the exit spin was good.
Yeah, it looked like he jumped right off the end of the berm and then into that backside and then over the gully gap.
It looked like it worked for Baptiste Piron. He's 1.2 back, so he has found some time towards the bottom of it.
50k an hour on the speed trap.
Piron down the line, 2 seconds outside that time.
He lost the time at the bottom. It looked good, but it's not fast.
To Huto Enrique Penny for MS Mondraker. In a hurry to get out of that second corner.
He's always on a hurry.
7/10 back. He's been in touch the whole way down. The big Kiwi.
Aggressive as a 1.2, lost a lot of time on split number 4.
Yeah, 1.2 back.
Tucking, eh? Trying to lower your body position to avoid the wind. Oh, front wheel here. Pretty close to the landing. He's pedaling hard.
53.3 kilometers an hour through the speed trap.
Good speed trap.
Enrique Penny then goes third. Good run.
1.4 back.
Should put him in contention.
Thomas is stacked so far on the front.
There is Marcus Stuckel, team manager, the biggest hands in mountain biking, as Juan Munoz leaves the start hop for J Racing Chiguero Extremo team, the Colombian. Well, he was faster in the second split, but he's 1.3 back now, 1.2, so an all-action run here from Munoz. Whoa, there's a big hole just where Williamson crashed there.
Well, it's maybe him when he crashed. He made a hole.
What a creator.
Pedaling hard for the Colombian. Munoz charging hard on the pedals. 1.2 back on split number 4. 51 km/h, 0.5.
Great to see these South American racers come through at the big races as well and be right up in the mix as well. 6th for Munoz crosses the line. For Slovakia then, Adam Rocek.
That corner, that second corner is getting really rough.
Charlie, will the racers be able to see that, I guess, from where they're warming up and stuff, just how difficult those top 2 turns are? Do you try and put that out of your mind or adjust things? Or?
Yeah, I think obviously over the weekend the boys have had a lot of time to practice that track and practice the corners, so I guess they're going to stick to their lines, but
it looks battered, especially that second one.
It does look really tricky.
But when you know it's really bumpy, you're already mentally on your brakes because you know it's bumpy, but mentally your brain tells you like, okay, you have to brake.
You can't win it in the first couple of corners, but you can certainly lose it. As Rocek rounds the final one down, over the line, 1.9 seconds, slower than his stack. I think that time of his stack's going to stand up really well. You know, that was all action right from the start. Matt Walker for Madison Saracen then. You can see how beaten up those turns are at the top. What a run he was on last time out in Ludenville Paragoon. He's on one here at 10ths of a second.
Yeah, in touch on split number 3. Lost a little bit of time compared to split number 2, but more time he lost on split 4, 1.2 back.
UK national champion. Another rider you kind of feel waiting on a big result this year, Charlie.
Yeah, 100%. I think, yeah, last year he had his first World Cup victory. This year he's been there, but just hasn't quite got that extra little bit. But yeah, it's definitely coming soon for that.
Big smashing finals last time, whilst he was up on the clocks as well. So Walker bit between his teeth this weekend, crosses the line second, 0.9 outside the time of a stack, but a great run from the British rider.
It's getting faster now in 26 and 27.
Next up, a man who rolled back the years last time out, Remy Therion.
Back on the podium last week in Ludenville for Remy.
That was cool to see.
That was cool to see. Look at the French crowd.
Whoa!
Back wheel singing.
That was loose.
You see the dust cloud.
1.9 seconds back, but taking the light from our eyes here in the commentary booth, getting sideways off that stump jump. Whoa.
He's a man when it's, you know, raining. I see him doing lines I've never seen before, like in old track in Val Nord or in Léogang. Oh, he's just incredible.
Yeah, he's so good at just getting creative with the lines. And remember, Léogang Woods, he held the high line world champs. That was insane.
Therion crosses the line 13th in the semi-finals. But oh, we need to catch our breath again after that one.
Oh, too bad we don't see the replay of that because it was impressive. The save.
Was big, wasn't it? Dante Silva, the man from San Francisco.
Yeah, that looked pretty neat, just getting underneath all them holes.
Oh, I like this corner, like you preset the other corner sideways. That was looking good, but not paying. 4.6 back on split number. Oh, nice table there.
5 seconds slower those for Silva, so I just wonder if there's been a problem somewhere in the run. He looks clean, hard to tell in that camouflage kit off the Canyon Collective.
Maybe blowing a corner. He was doing a schlipper top there.
Canyon Collective have been looking strong this weekend. Troy Brosnan going extremely fast with 4th in quali yesterday.
A man could be dangerous here on that track today.
Yep, Troy Brosnan Coming up later on, 26th for Dante Silva. Yeah, Brosnan in the dust.
In the dust. Well, in every terrain,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
he's consistent. But on that typical dust, yeah.
Yeah, I think Brosnan was the fastest in the time training session, so yeah, he's got some good pace this weekend.
He was on 27, yeah, but the little junior, Ryan Pinkerton, was on 26.
No way.
Yeah,
Ryan Pinkerton, he would have been up in the top 5.
Yeah, he was on
quali
25 yesterday.
Big,
Impressive.
big ride, yeah.
California boy.
5.2 seconds back for Brazil's Roger Vieira.
I love the way he's charging, the Brazilian.
Impact Racing, big impact onto that road there.
Pedaling hard there. See, tucking, pedaling, tucking.
It's just about conserving forward momentum on this finishing section and nailing those jumps and surviving this final right-hander. Vieira down the line, 5.5 seconds into 28, so he will be on the bubble. There's a drop zone at the minute. Hogan Vila sits in it. Franco is the first rider not to make it through, so 30 riders will go through, plus any protected that are outside that top 30 time. Jacob Dixon from Northern Ireland leaves the start hut for MS Mondraker.
You would think, you know, a start like this, steep like that, you don't need to crank, but everyone is putting three hard pedal before the first corner. This is impressive.
Another MS Mondraker rider returning from injury. Let's just see Dixon through here.
Oh, no. Yeah, lost the front there and couldn't save that.
Down hard for Dixon.
So much dust there.
It was 33rd in Ludenville, Périgueux.
Oh no, I'm nervous now.
As Charlie Hatton takes an intake of breath, Andreas Kolb gets underway.
Teammate on track.
It's 1.2 seconds faster for Kolb.
Come on, Andy.
Charlie's gone very quiet beside us as he just squares that corner off. Lovely through there.
He used it just to stop the bike a little bit. That was good. It was clean. 1.2 in the green on split number 3 for Kolb. 1.3 now.
3 now, yep, so he's found another 10th in the hardest place to find it. Kolb going well here in Haute Savoie, Léger.
And there's a big bend on the bike.
Yep, we'll have no problem with speed at the bottom of this one. And there's a reminder of the drop zone. It's Malloy, Hogan Vila, Francos.
Oh, you almost sit on the tire tucking.
Just looks down there.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Almost
Really wide off that jump. We need to see Andy Kolb splits here as he crosses the line. Andreas Kolb, fastest by 1.4 seconds in the semi-final.
He almost landed outside the jump.
Puff of the cheeks from Charlie alongside us. Lucas Shaw for the Canyon Collective, leaving the start up. You see what he puts us through every week?
Oh yeah. You guys have got a stressful job.
3.5 back for Lucas Shaw.
What did you think of that from Kolb though?
Looked really good from what I've seen. I think he tucked the whole way down the motorway and he actually gained time, so still...
Is that just a case of if you arrive onto it fast enough, all you're going to do is upset the bike's suspension by pedaling and standing
Possibly,
up?
yeah. I think you're going that fast in that section that you're almost on top of the hardest gear you've got, so...
And
I'm
just
not sure
by
whether
standing up's maybe creating more drag.
Yeah, exactly. And
And he nearly came off that jump actually.
Yeah, he did. He was right on the edge.
Lucas Shaw down towards the line. Let's see what the American national champion has got. 3.4 seconds outside that fastest time just set with Charlie Hatton's teammate Andreas Kolb.
Using a lockout button for the rear suspension would be good on the last straightaway.
I'm not sure. It might actually be too rough.
Yeah, too.
Bernard Kerr on track. What can he do today? Sits 12th in the overall at the minute, Bernard.
Oh, super inside over the stump.
He's 1.7, so he's found time.
Yes.
But he's got more to find.
Yeah, he was 2.1 on the split number 3. Whoa, send it big there over the little creek.
He was 13th last time out in Ludenville, Périgueux. Pivot Factory Racing.
It'll be interesting to see the speed trap there. The speed, 52 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. burner down towards the finish line. Crosses in third then, so 2 seconds, so should be safely through to the finals. Garçon now in the drop zone just ahead of Vieira. Antoine Vidal, the European champ, leaves the start hut. Was going so well last time out in Ludenville before that big smash.
I mean, his hand full of the handlebar. I mean, if he don't practice too much and keep some energy, he's a contender, he's dangerous, but he just love to ride his bike.
We mentioned it the last time out, didn't we? Off that stump.
2.5 back, 3.3 now, Antoine.
This is a big race for him as well, isn't it?
Yes, big race, and he was disappointed of Ludenville. Whoa!
Scrubs off that. Full commitment, as we've come to expect from Antoine.
Still running the brace on the right side on his wrist.
Can that be a danger in downhill, Charlie? You get yourself too G'd up for a certain race, you get disappointed at the one before it, then you arrive and you want to prove everybody wrong in the next one.
Yeah, it's very tough, and I think this sport is such a mental battle, and I think you've just got to think to like always give it 100% no matter what the circumstances, and try not to put too much pressure on a certain like home race, for example.
Well, this man, another man affected by the illness that's doing the rounds here in Ligier this week, Laurie Greenland, has been feeling a bit under the weather. Looks like he's cruising through there, so I just wonder if he's been down. 12 seconds back at the third split.
Don't look too dirty, but maybe he went straight on one line and...
Greenland is protected, so there's every chance he's maybe just conserving a bit of energy here. The man from Bristol certainly looks it, Charlie.
Yeah, maybe he's just doing almost like a recce run just to go through the track again before the finals.
And this is what's interesting about the semi-final. For the protected riders, you can't do that. Well, as we always say, take a step back from the side of the track. Ronan Dunn is on it.
You're maybe going to feel some rocks behind the television.
This could be a wild one.
Yeah, 2 seconds back, the Irishman at the minute.
I'm so impressed the way he charged every run faster than the other one, but he's 2 seconds back on the split 3.
You mentioned that every run at 100%. Few people epitomise that more than Ronan Dunn.
100% on the first run, 110 on the second one.
Yes, incredible, but he's still been super consistent this year.
That's the difficulty, isn't it? It's marrying those two things together.
No, I think he's improved as a rider a lot this year. I think coming from last year, he was like up and down, but yeah, this year he's been consistently really good.
Dropping a little bit more time and 2.4 now on split number 4.
Looking good for Dunn, though. Right down behind the stem of that nuke proof.
Little K is just...
Was that just too keen to get the bike back on the deck?
Yeah, I think he was trying to push through the jump to try and generate some speed, but...
Let's see how much it's costing as Ronan Dunn crosses the line in 5th, but that's looking pretty good. So the drop zone now, Silva is out. Antoine Piron is the rider next to drop. Jordan Williams, though, from the UK, on track.
Going to be back on the speed he was in the beginning of the season.
3.5 back for Jordan, so...
Struggling a little bit as well in Ludenville, and here a little bit today, 3.5 back.
3.5 back for the Specialized Gravity racer star who got his first elite level win and first race of the year in Lenzerheide.
Oh, doubling out there just before the road. Oh, nicely done, pedaling in the air a little bit.
Fair play to him, Charlie, though. A lot to process for a young man, that first win.
Yeah, it's incredible to come into your first World Cup elite race and win is absolutely insane. So, yeah, fair play to Jordan.
Williams inside the top 20 as Piron goes down. Conor Fearon's the next man on the bubble in 30th. 30 riders going through from this semi-final. Mark Wallace leaves the start hut. The Canadian for Norco Factory. Canadian rider and a Canadian brand, of course. Big race coming up for them in the finals. Mont Saint-Anne, Quebec, 2.8 back for Wallace.
Oh, he ripped that turn.
3.5 back, split 4.
Technically one of the very, very best, Mark, isn't he?
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah, I always love to watch him because technically for a long time too, right?
Yeah, he's been up in amongst it for a while, hasn't he? 3.5 seconds back now for the man they call the Shark. Heading down towards the bottom of the track here in Haute Savoie, Léger.
50k an hour now. Big difference on the speed trap with some riders.
#15 for Wallace as we get ready for the big man. Greg Minnaar leaves the Star Hut for the Santa Cruz Syndicate.
Yeah, Greggy, it's always nice to see him. It was good to see on the podium in Andorra.
Done a bit of extra track walking this weekend. 1.2 seconds back at the third split, just trying to get the measure of this formidable track here in Léger.
1.2 back for Greg. Oh, I love the way he's moving on the bike like this. Oh, he's pushing his, back leg like this as a skier to find the grip and curve the corner.
Charlie, he's just unreal, isn't he?
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Over 40 years old and
still young.
Still smoking us.
His first race here was back in 2000.
51k an hour on the speed trap for Greg.
23 years ago, Greg Minnaar crosses the line. Third place in the semis for the time being. 1.8 back on Andy Kolb. Danny Hart for Cube Factory Racing on course then. When traction is limited, it kind of favours Danny Hart. Really tidy through there, attacked it well.
Yeah.
Did you see that line?
Oh, that was so nice, but it's 2.4 back on split number 3. We see what is on the 4, 2.9.
That was tidy through there, Charlie.
Yeah.
Something new.
It looked like he just jumped off the side of the corner and missed out that right.
That's a line Estac and Ineguez was doing.
Yeah.
Which means it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's so steep there. Not doing this line already, it's hard to break, Then you jump, it's even harder. 2.9 split number 4, 51.7 kilometers an hour.
Yep, Danny Hart down towards the line in the semi-finals. 3.8 seconds back on that time of Andy Kolb, standing up well that time.
Yeah, he's done a pretty good run there, I think.
Still, 3:22.6 was Coulonge's fastest quality time yesterday, but we have been... Whoa!
Oh, that was nicely done there. Wow!
Spicy start the proceedings for Piercy.
Attacking. 3.7 back on sprint number 3.
3.7 seconds back. Just seems intent on destroying the whole course of his back wheel. Huge talent, Charlie, isn't he?
Yeah, he's incredible talent. I think, his qualifying result this week has shown that.
4 back now. 4.1 back on sprint number 4.
Whoa,
send it big there. Yeah, from the road. Almost to the other gravel road.
So Jack Piercy, I mean, before split 4 seconds back, but having a great go at it here in Léger. Piercy, nearly 54 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. Round the last corner. Maximum attack from Jack, 23rd. So it's now Lally who has dropped down. Telfair is next on the bubble. Finn Isles had that overall points leader's jersey for 1 round, lost it to his teammate Loic Bruni, who told us in an interview coming up later on that he can start to feel the tension in the team.
1.5 back on spin number 3. Disappointed from Ludenviel disqualifying.
Yeah, that Ludenviel disqualification in the finals run has come back to haunt Finn Isles, and he's out for redemption here. He has a trump card in his pocket that they go to Mont Saint-Anne for the finals, the last race of the year, but he needs to make sure that Loic Bruni doesn't take too many points there.
1.8 back on split number 4.
It's getting towards the extremely serious part of the season. Isles is protected, so there is a bit of a caveat to this run. He mightn't have thrown everything at the wall just yet. Isles down over the line in 7th. That looked like safety first to me, Charlie.
Yeah, it's really tough on a track like this. It's so easy to just wash the front wheel or just slide out. So
he's not happy, shaking his head.
Shaking the head.
I don't think he wanted to attack. He didn't want to cruise. If not, he would not be disappointed like this at the end.
Well, 9 riders to go.
Not happy with his ride.
Yeah, I guess you do run the risk of over-attacking here as we get the standings in. Kolb is fastest, then it's Estac, Minnaar, Kerr, Walker, right up there, Matt Walker, Ronan, Dunn, Finn Isles, Roj, Erlingson, Munoz, Williamson, 11th, 12th and 13th, looking good for the time being. Lucas Shaw, Baptiste Piron, Wallace, Palazzari, Hart, Then it's Breed and Tyrion, Ahern. Things start to get more serious towards the drop zone now. Williams, Piercy, Vidal, Connolly, Trimmer, Walker. So with a host of protected riders still in the bottom half of this top 9, we are waiting for our finals list to be drawn up. But Remy Meyer-Smith for the Giant Factory off-road team gets better and better every time we see him. We jump on board the drone, clips that pole on the way through. Beautifully done.
Oh, it's so good to see the drone following the rider. You can realize the speed.
I'm amazed we haven't written off more drones, actually. 2.3 seconds back from Meyer-Smith.
Hard to set up the corner because, you know, it's kind of off camber. You want to do the braking to get the upper line after. Some people are jumping that big hole. I saw, going for it.
That was committed.
Committed.
10th last time out in 10th in Val di Sole Trentino earlier in the year.
2.3 back on speed number 2 for Remy Meyer-Smith from Australia. He kind of know the dirt.
Yeah, it won't be unfamiliar territory to him, the loose stuff. His brother Luke out with a dislocated shoulder.
4.2 now, losing motor.
Right over the left-hand side towards that tree. Uses every millimetre of every track, Remy Meyer-Smith. Really, really tidy rider.
Oh, nice inside there to avoid that 2 big holes in the long corner. And the steep part.
Yeah, we saw Danny Hart pull off that huge line earlier on in his run. Nicely, exited it nicely though.
Just pulled back a little bit of time there.
Yeah, 4 seconds.
Taking risk.
The deficit.
It was hard for him to stop the bike on the steep part. You could see he was just like, holding on.
Pushing that Giant Glory back into the ground. Trying to keep it moving forward.
See, pre-compressed before the jump.
Really neat and tidy.
Staying so low on the jumps.
51.5 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. Remy Meyer-Smith over the finish line in 27, so he's put himself right into that drop zone. Simon Chapelet currently in 30th. Taylor Vernon misses out on the finals. Gonçalo Bandeira then having a great season, the Portuguese national champ.
He had a big mistake in semi yesterday. Then,
oh no, he's rolling down.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
cruising a bit there, but
flat tire maybe.
I don't know. It looked like no. Yeah, something happened. But yeah, 32 seconds back.
32 seconds back. So it
just
looks
before the lake, I guess something happened there. Got a mechanical or still have his chain or?
It looks like he's been down on the left side.
Yeah,
dirty.
Left-hand side impact for Gonçalo
Yeah, he's dirty.
Bandeira.
Such a shame. He's been riding so good recently.
Yeah.
Just a strong rider, 2 upper body, like.
Yeah, he's lost the peak as well.
Yeah, lost the peak.
29th in Val di Sole Trentino earlier in the season. So he likes it steep and dusty, but yeah, disappointment for Bandeira here today. Just getting that Scot back down the hill, but a man who will definitely be up and amongst it today, barring disaster. Jackson Goldstone for the Santa Cruz Syndicate leaves the start hut.
I hope he recovered. He was sick.
Yeah.
Well, look pretty full of energy to me.
Full of energy, doesn't he? But sickness doesn't seem to hold this guy back. He spent the first half of the season really suffering from that appendix issue, and he won his first UCI.
Oh, he's taking the corner there. He's the only one.
Yeah. Goldstone, third in the overall at the minute. Half a second back at the first split.
1.2 on speed number 2. Do you think like being so light at the top is a disadvantage as well?
Yeah, I think it's definitely hard to carry as much pace when you haven't actually got as much weight as the other riders. So then in this steeper stuff, I guess he's got less weight to slow down. So it's sort of like a catch-22 really.
He's pushing our drone pilot to his limits down there anyway.
He was 1.2 on speed number 2, but look like he's going for it. Even the drone couldn't follow him.
So Goldstone is protected. So another rider like Finn Isles that maybe just getting a marker in here and just making sure that the lines he wants to ride are on.
Nice line, jumping the full compression.
Another rider as well that you kind of feel may just have a bit of magic up his sleeve in the steep sections for his finals run.
Get some time back on split number 3.
Yeah, just a second back now, Goldstone.
Second back, it's manageable. It's getting steeper and steeper, and technical where he's great out.
Neat and tidy through there.
Looking for the clean line all the time. Are we going to know soon? Is it
He's
great?
faster. It's faster by 400ths of a second.
What a section is done.
Do you know what?
Wow.
I was about to say as well, this doesn't look like maximum attack from Goldstone.
Yeah.
I think he always looks so in control of the bike.
He must be saving something for the Elite Men's Finals coming up later on this afternoon as he heads down towards the bottom of this track.
This will be really interesting. Jackson, he's pedalled the whole way versus Andy Tuckin, so
maybe needs to, as we said, smaller rider, maybe needs to.
Yeah,
as he
true.
heads down across the line. Fastest by 0.2 of a second from Andreas Kolb. As Simon Chapelet will not make the finals. Walker is the next man into that drop zone behind him. Dylan Levesque leaves the start hut.
Oh, he's looking good. He's confident.
1.3.
Seen Ludenviel. He's on the A game.
7th in quali yesterday.
He had
Dylan
more-
Levesque has been building all year.
He had more in the tank. 1.3 in the green on split number 2. This is great run for Dylan.
6th in Ludenviel Périgueux, just off the podium. Fancy's doing something about that today. And the full 29er, Scott.
Oh, he's carrying a lot of good speed.
Strong on the pedals as well, Levesque.
Yeah, always have the right gearing.
Oh, he's got a round
avoid
jump.
it, yes. Avoiding the jump just to stay low.
Straightens it out, and it looks like he carried a load of speed in there.
Lost a
But
little
he's
bit of
a tenth
time.
of a second back.
Yeah, I think Jackson's bottom section there was pretty incredible.
Yes, exactly. He extended the level really high.
But this is still very, very good for Levesque.
Yeah, confidence. You know, he's dangerous
it's
when
rough.
he gets confident. Really rough
Oh,
braking
you
area
could see
here.
there.
Suspension squish all the way down, bottom out. Whoa, the cameraman there.
Cameraman was close
What
to
a
him.
fright.
1.6 back, lost quite a bit
So
of
he's
time.
lost time in the second half, but that top section was formidable.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
he's
he's got huge.
standing big there.
Went deep off that, let Dylan Levesque.
Maybe he spent too much energy at the top and he's paying the price now.
Well, things heating up here towards the business end of the UCI Mountain Bike World Series Festival Haute Savoie from Léger. Semi-finals, 54 kilometers an hour through the speed trap for Dylan Levesque, down the line, into third. 1.1 back on Jackson Goldstone.
Good finish. Very good finish.
Ollie Davis then for the Union, the big Australian, really finding his feet this season.
Like we say, Australian will be good today on that kind of dirt.
Yeah, this kid's really impressed me. He's obviously coming to his first year in Elite, and yeah, he's in touch.
Yeah, he's in touch on split number 2.
He was 9th in Ludenviel Périgueux in one of the biggest runs of the season, really. Quietly went under some people's radar, but
Staying in the inside there. He didn't take the upper line there. Staying low. Really hard to say what's faster.
the man known in the team affectionately as Giant. You can guess why yourselves, but Ollie Davis
Wow, committed into that rut.
looking like he's securing himself a finals berth here in amongst a load of protected riders. After
Wow.
him, there's 5 to go.
5 second back. 1 second back on the split number 3.
Yeah, first year Elite.
Wow.
This is really like the history books will, I think, look back at this season as the year that the gap between junior riders and elites just collapsed, didn't it?
Yeah,
what
it's
what we've seen from first year elites this year has been unprecedented.
Well, yeah, already two first year winners, so I don't think that's ever happened before.
Never. It was always a huge gap, but now it's like jump into the top elites.
Yeah, it's insane.
Ollie Davis.
That was the harder things before, you know, like you jump into the elite right away and he was really far. It was hard when you win everything and all of a sudden you're in the back.
Yeah.
But those guys now are straight in the front. It's impressive. 1.7 back on split number 4, 49 kilometers an hour on the speed trap.
Slower through the speed trap, Davis. So the run, maybe just getting tired towards the bottom. Ollie Davis crosses the line, 2.7s back into 9th, so that looks good. But next up, get ready for some noise. It's the overall leader, Loic Bruni. Things have just got serious here at Leger.
Sorry, you heard that? He unclipped at the start. I heard the click, click. I don't know, maybe it just maybe beat, but I think he unclipped out of the start.
Let's see what the man who won the UCI World Championships here
quick there.
last year was so fast across there.
Oh, he's on the hurry for lunch. Oh, wow. Inside, perfectly done there.
He's
Look at
listen
the
to
bike.
the noise in the woods.
It's glued to the ground.
Yeah, the clocks are looking good here in the booth.
Inside, between the two tree, that was Greg Minard line in the beginning of the week.
For Loic Bruni, 1.1 seconds faster at the first split.
Look at the bike work. 1.1 on the first split time.
This next section is where he did the business in that UCI World Championships run. Conjured up 2 seconds through here.
It's 2 seconds.
2 seconds slower.
Oh, he's dirty on the left.
Yeah, some dirt on the left of his.
He's dirty, he went to the
left
ground.
leg.
2 seconds back with a crash. Yeah, he's dirty on the left. And the sleeve is.
So he does lead the points overall. He won last time out in Ludenville Peyragu. He won last time we were here, but he has been down in the semi-finals. Loic Bruni is protected. That will obviously stand in his favour, but
really rare we see Bruni on the ground.
Normally when we do, it's huge as well.
Yes.
It takes something to really upset this man, but
we'll see. We know more if he's capable to catch some time back. So precise, 2.5 after a crash.
Charlie, this is more and more questions, isn't it?
Yeah, this is. I'm not sure what's happened at the start of the track, but
just. Yeah. So it's happened off camera wherever it's happened.
I love the bike control he has, and he keeps speed in critical corners.
The flares go off. I tell you, this man, in terms of the levels of support, he's got 3.2 back, so maybe Bruni has just rolled off a little bit here. We interviewed him the other day, and he had to get a photo taken with a dog that had been named after him. That's how popular he is.
Well, still charging, it is pointing out.
Yeah, so Bruni
160.
Bruni is protected. We'll have to see what this does to the drop zone as to who's not going to make it through. 30 riders will go through. Bruni rolls off over the line. Let's see what the reaction's like as Remy Meyer-Smith drops down. Connolly next up behind him. Troy Brosnan, the man who was fastest in time training.
Inside on those two corners.
That was tidy. That was really neat.
That was clean.
4th in quali yesterday. Looking fast, Brosnan. Likes this place. Goes well here. Likes racing in the dust. Likes racing everywhere.
Not pedaling at the top.
He's working the bike hard, trying to get every little downslope.
Pumping.
Yeah, do you want something with Bruni if we can get it?
Nice through there.
Well, he's looking good. Like, he can find the grip. He's comfortable. Keeping the bike, you know, clean and straight.
Troy Brosnan.
That's fast.
That looks super fast down there to my eyes.
Yeah, me
What's
too.
the split time's going to say? He's a second faster, Troy Brosnan now.
Yeah, he looked good and looked almost easy when you see him riding. That's what always impressed me. Oh, really early here.
0.8 of a second back from Brosnan.
Lost a little bit of time, but not so much.
He was 19th in Ludenville Peyragu. Not where he wants to be. He wants to be at the top of that top 20, not the bottom of it.
I love the way he's pushing his bike after the corner, like skiers do.
Just brilliant to watch, but he wants to be on the top step again in 2023. Troy Brosnan.
Way inside there.
Inside.
Yeah, so steady there.
Yeah, I think that outside rut's getting super blown out and it's so hard to trust. So yeah, I think you'll see a lot of riders choosing that inside line.
Leogang 2021 was the last time the man from Adelaide was on the top step. He's been going well this weekend in Haute Savoie Léger.
Oh, keeping it low here on the double. He's still in the green.
0.6 of a second faster.
Impressive ride. So active the way he's like pumping and using the suspension.
Charlie, it matters more when you're fastest at every split, doesn't it?
It definitely does, yeah. That's always the goal.
Outside line there when Goldstone was in the inside.
Let's just see what he can do for this steep section. He's going to take that line of Danny Hart's on.
Whoa. He did a mix on the two line there. I lost some times.
0.1 of a second back, yep.
Quite a bit of time on split number 4.
But part of the weight rise, they don't come much more perfect than Brosnan as he enters this fast final section.
Definitely need to pedal hard there. Tucking, lightweight.
Death gripping as well, just not touching the brakes at all.
Yeah, no fingers near the brakes here at the Baume Léger. Troy Brosnan death gripping his way towards 55 kilometers an hour, Brosnan. So is that enough to equal the hot seat? Brosnan goes fastest in Léger by 0.3 of a second ahead of Jackson Goldstone.
Impressive.
Free to go in this semi-final, but Troy Brosnan has just put a massive flag in the sand. Dakota Norton for Intense Factory Racing from the USA leaves the Star Hut.
You know, after Ludanviel, you know he's back. He's going to give it all because you don't want this man unhappy.
We sat down with this man earlier in the week as well, and what a humble, respectful guy he is.
Really high, handlebar. We talked about it last week.
Yeah, it's clearly worked for him last week. I think Aaron Gwynn's gentle mocking off him might have eased up a bit this week.
You have a big stack under his handlebar
yeah,
with the stamp.
I did notice that before, actually. I was in the queue in the uplift with him, and yeah, he runs so many stem spaces.
Second back for Dakota Norton.
As well, quite an impressive slack angle,
He,
on the fork.
He said that he once heard a quote from he's 0.3 of a second faster at the second.
Looked like he missed a bit of a line there going around the lower part of the stump there.
Yeah, he said he read a thing, one of your bosses, Charlie, had written G. Atherton saying it takes 7 years in this sport to be at the top of it. And he said,
really?
he said, I'm in my 8th season and I'm finally comfortable with it.
Oh, there we go.
Whoa,
that was good.
Try that corner.
Well, if anybody had that line down in their finals run, it's no longer there.
Oh, nice.
Really nice through there, Norton. Amazing what a bit of confidence can do. The American on the move here in France.
Yeah, I love the way, like, when he's braking hard at the last moment and squeezing the bike down, squatting. We know more about the sprint that is coming if it's still in green.
Dakota Norton.
Lost some time.
It's close.
It's close. Lost some time. It's still close though.
Just under 0.1 of a second outside that time, just set by Troy Brosnan, the rider before him.
That braking area with that big root, it's so hard there, close to the tree.
The man from Clinton, Tennessee.
You can hear the pads,
fast.
You know? Oh, so clean there.
Beautifully done round there.
Oh, the line. He did the line as well.
I think that's
like
the big thing about Norton. He can pull the wild lines with the best of them, but he can also keep it
back
nice and tidy when it counts, and he's back in the green here at the semi-finals. 0.08 of a second back now as he enters this big fast section at the bottom of the track here in Haute Savoie Léger.
You went cold out.
Easy to get behind the handlebars when they're that high up. Big points for the semi-finals. Dakota Norton fancies helping himself to some. 53.2 kilometers an hour through the speed trap, so slower than Brosnan. Just has to anchor up in the left corner and touch Dakota Norton over the line. Fastest by 0.07 of a second as Antoine Vidal will miss the final. Jack Piercy's next to drop ahead of him. Next to drop from the Star Hut, however, is Lars Vergier for Trek Factory Racing.
Frenchie running the moustache.
Vergier, second fastest in quali yesterday.
Oh, he looks quick.
Going fast here in Léger.
Oh, he's quick. Look at that. The way he's working the bike, pedaling. Wow, he's quick.
Wow, that looked fast to me down there.
Taking the berm as well.
Nice and neat through there.
He looks quick.
Vergier has seemed out of sorts a bit this season, but you know as well, can just turn things around in a heartbeat.
Oh, he's quick there.
He's floated
So
down there.
quick.
Whoa!
And it's so bumpy here.
What Leclerc's going to say? Vergier then, down towards it.
Yes!
1.5 seconds faster. Well, we've seen tenths of a second traded in the last few runs. Lars Vergier, 1.7 seconds faster here in the semi-final.
Extending his lead. It's impressive the way he's doing, like on the bike, like so active.
To find that much time at the top, Charlie.
Yeah, that is impressive. It seems like obviously that long grass straight is a relatively easy section, but I think those are the sections you can actually make up some time.
I like the way he works on the bike, you know, like just jumping things sometimes when it's getting complicated.
His run here at the UCI World Championships last season was a thing of beauty, and looks like he's going some to eclipse it here today.
Oh, he's looking good.
Moves around on the bike
Yes,
a lot.
it moves a lot, and when it's complicated, instead of hitting the brakes, it's just like jump. I love the way he's doing things like that. It's just like so much skills.
Lars Vergier, 26-year-old,
1.7 still.
He's maintained 1.7. He's actually extended by a couple hundredths of a second.
You need to keep that momentum here when it's complicated.
So Vergier is protected, but that's not holding him back. He wants to get that feeling. He wants to get that familiarity with the track here in Léger that could equal an incredible finals run. What a build-up we're having.
And his fourth overall, I mean, at his point, then yeah, he want to grab everything he can today.
Yeah, when there's points on the table, things get serious.
Oh, he's on a good run, 1.8 on sprint number 4.
1.8 seconds. Charlie, can you believe what we're seeing here?
So quick.
Yeah, this just looks like a classic Loris clinical run, I think. He's just pretty perfect everywhere.
Green the whole way down for Vergier. Can he find even more time at the bottom? There are points available here in the semi-finals. We're getting towards the sharp end of the season. 58 kilometers an hour. Briefly flashed up on the screen there. Lars Vergier down towards the line. Lars Vergier fastest by 2.1 seconds in the semi-finals in Léger.
Faster than Coulange on the semi-final. He's on 21.
One to go, and it is that man who was fastest in qualifying. Benoit Coulange for Dorval and Commensal leaves the Star Hut. But what a run Lars Vergier has just put down, but super clean and tidy through there, Coulange.
I love the way that man is using his arm, legs, everything he has, you know, just to make him faster.
Yeah,
Loris was so good there.
Loris was so fast on that top section that Coulange could well be struggling to stay in touch with him, excuse me. So it's Vergier who leads the way from Norton. Ambrosden as a chainsaw's roar.
He looked good, but Vergier was maybe a little bit faster there.
Let's see what the clocks are gonna say.
Yeah, Vergier was quicker there. And it's...
Yeah, 4/10 of a second. I mean, it's nothing. It's under half a second for Coulange as he enters the wood. So this is doable for a rider of his capabilities.
Pulling back time.
On
He
the
is
limit
pulling
there.
back time.
Yeah.
3/10 of a second at the second split.
Charging hard.
It's worth bearing in mind as well against whose run that was. A rider who was over a second and a half faster than everybody else.
After the leg, you know, it's so hard there, but if you do good after the leg, you can take an option on a perfect run.
Just growing with stature as this season continues. Charlie, how's this looking for you?
He just hold on.
Yeah, he shows the outside there. It looked like it was, whoa, that was loose. It looks like, yeah, all the outsides are starting to blow up, so he's going fast though.
It looks like Coulange is just sort of getting that balance between ragged and fast as this season goes on.
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously we've seen him last week in Lunenville, who was 1-1 and unfortunately crashed in the finals, but yeah, big results coming for this man, definitely. Oh,
he's faster
green.
now. He's a 10th of a second, just as you mentioned that. Is he going to do the same here this weekend and go fastest in quali and fastest in the semi?
That would be a perfect
Yeah, that
weekend.
would be pretty insane.
Yeah, it's because he said in the interview he want to go through the full weekend, just not halfway.
It's looking good.
It's looking good for Coulange here. Yeah, a rider who's really marrying that speed and levels of attack.
Oh, it's quick.
It was nice.
good through there. 7/10 of a second faster.
Holding on to those grips.
So
watch out.
His time in quality yesterday, fastest time in quality was a 3 minutes 22.6. What is he going to stop the clocks at here today? Coulange on a run.
There's grip, tucking. 56, 51, 54, back 57 km.
Oh, Coulange lands deep there.
It's going to be tight.
Hands in the right-hander. Coulange pushes for the line, glances to his right. He's 0.2 of a second faster than Lars Vergier. Benoit Coulange goes fastest in the semi-final in Haute Savoie. Léger, fastest in quality, fastest in semi. Lars Vergier thought he might just have had it in the bag, but what a run from Benoit Coulange. Charlie, that's just beyond impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's incredible to back up his qualifying first place. Yeah, he's on for a good one this week, I think.
Look at the slow. Look his foot dropping the hills.
You see, he goes around the stump at the here as well.
You say many times, you go around, it looks like it's faster.
Yeah, you see how he sets up wide for that corner. I think he just carries.
Wow, 5 cranks there, 5 hard pedal.
It's cool with a drone in the background.
Clips the pole there. So that looked fast through that steep section, Charlie.
Yeah, it was super impressive.
Wow, you see, every time he's pushing with his feet, I don't know, like so much angle with his foot. He could almost touch his
Almost
knee.
like a flat pedal rider.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you need to just have your ankles at that angle just to try and slow down.
Well, let's take a breath then. Benoit Coulange, fastest. Goes faster than he did in quali, which is what you want to see. Ahead of Vergier, Norton, Brosnan, Jackson Goldstone, Andy Cole, Levesque, Estac, Minard is up there too. Walker, Dunn, Ollie Davis 13th, Finn Isles back in 14th, just ahead of his title rival and teammate Loic Bruni in 15th. Antoine Rose, Ulrike Penny behind them. Greg Williamson makes the big show in 21st, Lucas Shaw 22nd, Rodjek right in amongst them 23rd. Joe Breeden makes it through as well in 28th. Then it's Tyrion, Anna Hearn, Williams though, 31st, Jack Piercy, 32nd, Antoine Vidal. So Williams not protected. We'll see him. Dylan Maples, 43rd, Dante Silva, 46th. Then it's Garçon, Vieira, Malloy, Holgon Villa, Francos, Lucas, Guillaume, Rila, Bo. Then Laurie Greenland, who is protected, 56th, looking a bit out of sorts today. Austin Dooley, Jacob Dixon with that big crash. Gonzalo Bandera also crashed. Williamson, huge crash on it. Ranio, the Finn after that. Well, that was about as action-packed as semi-finals come, but those last two, Charlie, really lit things up, didn't they?
Yeah, they seemed like they were just on that extra little level. I'm not sure if they were really pushing or... Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty insane finals.
Well, you don't have to wait too long for them. 1 o'clock, the elite women get us underway, then 2 o'clock for the elite men. Tomorrow, all about cross-country Olympic, but look, we'll get there when we get there. What a semi-final we have had here in Léger, and as we expected, the crowd filling up the finish area here. One of the biggest, loudest, and let's face it, weirdest crowds of the year. Things get loose here in Léger.
And just the beginning, just wait. In an hour, this is going to be packed.
They're all waiting for the Cedric Gracia signing session later on this evening.
They don't know me.
You can see bits of frames getting rattled there, bananas. I think that's a speed camera, strangely enough, just what you always want to see. Here are the overall standings then after that semi-final. So Bruni leads Isles by 90 points, 2 points of difference back to Goldstone. Then it's Vergier, Deprella, Cole, Greenland, Coulange moving up, Brosnan and Jordan Williams. 2 points between second and third, Charlie. Absolutely nothing.
That is tight.
So Isles 90 points still off that overall jersey off his teammate. The two of them welded together in 13th and 14th after that semi-final. So as we get ready to head towards the finals, here are your fastest on track so far. Valley, Hole, both of them danced their way through that steep section better than anyone else. Hole doesn't know how to go slow in 2023. Coulange nearly got the better of our drone, clipped that pole, might have made the difference. But Leger is back. It is running faster than ever. The grip is less than ever. Charlie Hatton, thank you for joining me. Cedric Gracia, thank you for joining me. Finals, get ready. Here we go, we're plugging in. We will see you very, very shortly.
Mais genre, tu vois, si tu ralentis un peu.